welcome in. If you can tell, I'm still in my robe. This is the defeat robe. This robe makes me feel better. This robe makes me feel comfortable. I don't know how comfortable I am these days. A lot of things going on. We'll talk about it, but big up and welcome to you. If you're watching this live or on playback, big up yourself right now. Welcome into United Spurs of America. This is episode 89. I had to check. There's so many damn episodes. Wow. How's everybody doing? Look who I got to show up to work, everybody. Look who is here. He's here. I'm here. You're here. What more do we need? Big up yourself right now. Happy Wednesday. Good afternoon from El Paso, Texas. How's everybody feeling? Again, this is the last day I want to talk about it. Personally. This is the last day I want to personally talk about it because I'm ready to move forward. But there are still things to talk about. I got tweets. I got this, that, and the other. But hopefully you've got yourself something comfortable to sit in. Go ahead and hit that like. Participate in the poll while you're at it. I see 87% of 30 votes says Mickey's injuries, but giving them the worst vibes from Monday's loss. Look, I try to provide the immaculate vibes. We will turn this thing around and flip it and reverse it. Missy Elliott style. Shout her out every single time. You know how I like to do it here on the show. But I hope you're doing well. I am too blessed to be stressed. And yes, I am wearing the robe of defeat. But don't worry. That just means I'm keeping it comfortable. But big up. Happy Wednesday. Hump day. Hope you are humping the day and the day is not humping you. Speaking of someone whose day, I believe, just begun. It is bright. He is full of love in his heart. Lots of love. Lots of thumbs up. I see in the backstage. I'm going to bring him on because, you know, he's a busy man. Don't know how long we're going to have this guy. He's a hot commodity. And again, he's a celebrity of sorts. So when I bring him on, put your hands together. Y'all, I'm still recovering from that L, if I'm being honest. I've been making the rounds on various channels getting cooked. So I need some loving today. And guess who I brought? Another one better than the man of love himself, the hotspur hippie. What's going on, Paul?
How you going, man? Is the audio all right? Or am I in your ears and echoing and all that rubbish?
I don't hear anything crazy. Sounds great.
Oh, hooray!
I guess we just needed to take a loss in order for it to work.
That's it, man. Yeah. Well, I hope you're doing all right there. Snare. See, I know Missy Elliott.
Yes, you know. Is it worth it? Let me work it. Missy Elliott, you know, she did like and retweet one of my tweets once. She was performing at the LA Clippers match at halftime. Or no, she wasn't performing. It was a Missy Elliott appreciation night. And I tweeted how beautiful of a performance it was and how great it was to see the Queen. And she liked it. I'll take a drink to that. How are you doing, though? We're 48 hours removed. We're 48 hours removed, Paul. How are you feeling just off the jump? What are the vibes like over there for you?
You know, I'm feeling the same way as I felt after the game. Pretty happy with what the lads did, and Aang stuck to his guns. I think we learnt a lot out of that game. It's all up for me, really. Oh, yeah, okay, the result 4-1. But we all know in our hearts that Chelsea were crap, so I'm not worried about that. Just another thing to me. I'm feeling good. I'm seeing how we cope with this little challenge we've got, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is something that we've talked about frequently here on the channel, Paul, and I believe on your channel. It's like, look, these things are going to happen. They're going to come eventually. And, you know, I don't like to necessarily dwell on the negative that could come our way because inevitably it will find you. And we had a dose, a helping dose of the negative find us. Suspensions, 2 suspensions to 2 key positions, injuries to some key positions. We're looking bruised and battered. But you know what? This is one of those moments where Rocky didn't win those fights getting beat up. And I'm so sorry, my dearest wife. I took the Roku remote. That's twice. That's twice. So the Roku remote for the TV, out of habit, I guess I bring it in here with me. I don't know.
Dude, just to make you feel better, I brought my Google Chrome Google Chrome remote down to my car, and it stayed in my car a bloody week before I remembered to take it back up. So
So you understand.
oh yeah.
Real quick, Paul, let me say what's up to everybody in the chat. I see y'all here. I see 38 votes. I see 28 likes. That's only 10 people that want to vote but not like the video. And look, again, nothing's obligatory here. You could do as you please. You don't have to hit the like, even if you're in a sour mood still. But hopefully we're on the mend. Look, I am still wearing the robe of defeat, Paul. So I'm not letting it get away from me what happened. But, you know, tomorrow I got to throw this. Tomorrow I got to throw this thing in the washer. So it's time to move on. I only get to wear the defeat robe so long, and at a certain point you just gotta let it go. Look, but let me go ahead and give the 2 first place prizes to Nate. Pyatt says, "Wow, that's an early start. I'll watch a replay." And then I ended up changing the start time to this time. So maybe Nate Pye's here. I don't know. NCCP says, "Looking forward to it." Big up NCCP. David Calvino says, "What just happened there? Did I just lose 4 hours of my life?" Nope, that's just me rescheduling. And then while the show was just simply waiting, Darren Wimbledon picked up the membership. Welcome to the family, Darren Wimbledon. I'm going to mute you just for a second, Paul. I was getting a little bit of funky business. That's okay. Big up Darren Wimbledon. Thank you. I believe you were a member already, so this is you re-upping on the membership. And honestly, so nice you had to get it twice. So big up Darren Wimbledon. Big up to you and happy Wednesday. I hope you're feeling blessed and too blessed to be stressed. And I will say this as well to you, Darren. I hope today's better than yesterday, and I hope your tomorrow is better than today. So big up yourself, Darren Wimbledon. Welcome to the family. Grabbing that Lover's Lane membership. Memberships are available, super chats and all that, or you could just hit a Q in the comment. I'll start and bring it up at some point. That is the goal. So you can always do that. That's a free way. And you know, another free thing you could do is hit a like and subscribe. And I'll put Hotspur Hippie in the title and take at United Spurs of America in the title. You know, I only put this channel's name in the title of this channel's videos because I heard that helps with the algorithm. But at a certain point, I just feel like it's kind of weird. Why would I put, the hamster wheel, baby. You just, let me go subscribe to United. Oh, there's United Spurs of America. Let me go subscribe. Oh, there's United Spurs of America. That's how I get them, Paul.
In its own tail, man.
Big up Drunk Vigo says the cello guy. Look, Drunk Vigo may seem like a hater of mine, but everywhere I go, I just think they love me. I think Drunk Vigo's in love with me. And I'll put it, I take it as a compliment, Drunk Vigo. So big up yourself right now. I believe a Liverpool fan. Maybe United? I think Liverpool, though. Bogosian, 12:30 a.m. here. Nice. Big up Bogosian says 12:30 a.m. What time zone is that, Paul?
What times? What 12:30 a.m.
12:30 a.m. Because that's 2 hours beyond UK. Spain is what, 1 hour ahead of Spain, or 1 hour. Spain is 1 hour ahead of the UK. Where you at, Bogosian? Because I don't know.
9 hours behind me. I reckon. I don't know. Yeah,
who knows? They'll let us know. Donovan, big up Donovan is in the house. Nate is here, says morning all. I did have to reset the internet, so apologies for being a little bit late, but hey, it's okay. A little bit late is great. It did make me sweat just a little bit, but big up to my niece, Drula, as well as YouTube chat member, Drula. Says, big up Uncle Jay and all the US of A crew. Big up, Drula. Hope you're having a great day. And I hope you're having a great evening as well. David Calvino says, I thought only Neo from the Matrix could reset the internet. I didn't know. I didn't reset the whole internet. It's just my internet. But hey, Nate saying I'm Neo, and if you want to say I'm the one, Keanu Reeves is a great man to be compared to. So I know in the Matrix he wasn't Keanu Reeves, but that's neither here nor there. Vigo is a Liverpool fan, says San Antonio Hotspur. Big up San Antonio Hotspur. Spurs GCTV says, good evening, Jacob. Hope you're well, my friend. Big up Spurs GCTV. Hope you're doing well. I don't believe I don't believe Drunk Vigo is clout chasing. I think they just love me. That's what I think it is, San Antonio. Big up Phil Coy. It's good to see you the other day. Look, man, you're always welcome to come on. Text me anytime you see me on and you want to join. You're always welcome, my friend. Big up Phil. Does the robe come in white? There was black and blue is what I remember. So I went with the blue. I don't know if there's a white. Maybe there is a white, but I don't know. Someone got it for me for Christmas. That's what I know. But big up Craig the Gecko Man. Chewy is here. Says big up Jacob and Chewy. Chewy's here. Tony D is here. Says morning Jacob and Schuster. Big up Tony D. Patty Hartnett says evening Jacob. Hope you are all well. Patty Hartnett, how you doing, my friend? Big up. Good evening. I guess it would be a little bit late there. Look, I'm gonna take the hood off because I'm not on my Obi-Wan Kenobi shit tonight. I'm just on my
he's emerging. He's emerging from his
cocoon of sadness. Yeah. My cocoon of sadness and sorrow. Coming to grips with the fact Kuti will be missing for 3 matches. That's actually pretty insane to me.
Rough, isn't it? What's the real? Because I was looking at his. He's got 2 yellows and 1 red this year. So how come he's got 3 suspension thing?
Because it was a straight red. It wasn't 2 yellows that got him sent off. If you get a foul that's a straight red, it's 3 matches. If you get 2 yellows, it's 1 match. So that's why
we would have been better off if he'd have got a yellow for that little kick out and then another yellow.
Yeah.
What a dark. Who makes these rules, man?
Bunch of people in suits in some building that people like us aren't allowed to enter. That's where they are.
Yeah, fuck the man.
Yeah, except the YouTube algorithm, you're pretty cool. So bless us. Ryman Islam is in the house. Says, evening, Yakub, and yes, Chewy is here. Anyway, still feeling rubbish after Monday's game. Saturday can't come soon enough to erase the painful loss. The score and the players. 78% says the Mickey injury. 11% says the loss in general is what's giving them the bad vibes tonight. Let's see. 7% says I'm a rival, and I've been waiting on the downfall. So there it is. I gave an option there for the rivals, Paul, because there are rival fans that do tune in, and I know that there wasn't anything giving them bad vibes about watching us stumble and fall because they've been waiting on it, they've been praying on it and manifesting it. And Paul, you know, I manifest positive things in my life. I don't manifest the downfall of others, but hey, whatever helps you sleep at night. If you feel good about Spurs' downfall, I don't like people joking about the Mickey Van de Veen injury. If I could be honest, I take that a little personal. I don't know why I feel like he's my son, but I love that young man. And I feel bad that people are taking the piss out of him.
You were the first to spot the guy. So, you know, it's going to hurt, man. It's going to hurt when he's your boy.
Yeah, but it's not just that. It's like this guy was performing at a level in which I was not expecting him to perform. He was doing things that I thought maybe 2-3 years we would get him to do. And he was thrown in 3 training sessions, boom, 11 Premier League starts. That is absurd. That's crazy to me. And look, you're right. I didn't hear anyone talk about Mickey Van de Veen before me outside of my little bubble. I'm sure there's plenty of people talking about Mickey Van. Look, I think the scouts obviously had an eye on Mickey Van de Veen. They're keeping track of him just like I was. Maybe they're watching United Spurs of America. And if they are, hit that like, you scout, and you're mooching off of me. But hey, we got the kid in, and I was super ecstatic. I was through the moon. Because I know Liverpool were in for him, and then Liverpool kind of hesitated. So then everyone pulled away from the... Say that again?
They thought he wasn't good for...
Yeah, I have a tweet about that. On June 11th, it was tweeted that from some Anfield account, it was tweeted that Jurgen Klopp and Shkamad K, or whoever the director of football, whatever his name is from Liverpool, they said that they had deemed Mickey Van de Veen wasn't ready for the big step, that he hadn't had enough time in the Bundesliga. And then we said, we'll take that. We'll take that guy. And now his ham fell off the bone, is what someone said to me. The ham fell off the bone, and it really, I don't know. How do you feel when rivals take the piss out of a young man getting an injury?
I don't really listen to them. I don't really care what they say, whether it's good or bad about Tottenham. It doesn't interest me in the slightest. But I heard that he was at training. I don't know if he was training as such, but he He was in it. He was in training gear.
Oh, I have a
training.
tweet about that. You know me, Paul. I got my tweets. I got my bookmarks.
You're on it. Well,
I got. But see, there's.
Just give you a bit of prompting, you know.
There you go. But it's not only that, Paul. There is some drama around. So you're acknowledging the fact about that photo of Mickey Van de Veen and Sonny touching like the what is it, Michelangelo photo, the fingers of God, or what is it?
I haven't seen that. No.
My mom had a big painting of it in the living room of my house growing up, and I believe it was by Michelangelo. And it's like, someone can correct me, but it's like the finger, and then it's like man and God about like their fingers trying to touch, right? And it's a beautiful painting, but that's kind of what the photo reminded me of. Was I'll have to Google what that is, but maybe I'll have it here. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Excuse me. Big up everybody in the house while you're here. James Paratroopers dropping in. Ronnie's here. Matt in Oz is here. Big up. Ben Kaufman is here. Big up, Ben Kaufman. VAR is ruining our spot, says Rowan. Big up, Rowan. The Hotspur Hippie looking good. Paul, love the hat. Hey, he's been looking fresh. I think it's the iridescent logo. I don't want to say it has made your style ever so funky fresh, because I believe the funk was within you before the iridescent logo landed on you. But maybe the iridescent logo has helped you to reach the upper echelon now of the funk.
I just had to shed my old man prejudices and you shouldn't have badges like that, because as soon as I got it on, man, ooh, it felt good. It felt good.
That's what I'm saying. And then you see, you're walking, right, and then the sun's shining on you, and you hit a little sparkle. It sparkles, and it gives you a little something in the eye. Like, what was that? Oh, Tottenham Hotspur. That's what it was. That's what it is every single time. That's why I love the when we had that training gear right at the end of Pochettino, in the beginning of Mourinho, we had that purple iridescent logo on the training gear. But hey, this isn't a fashion show, but I could talk about it. Is it very cold in the U.S.? Don, look, Don Danboy, what I will say is it is not cold, but that loss, I didn't like it. So maybe the hood's going to go up just a little bit. Keep me safe and comfortable away from the L. I'm not used to these L's. Give them away from me. Jeff THFC says, big up Josh Hippie. Josh is my older brother, but big up Jeff nonetheless. I think I'll be pissed off until February when we go to the bridge. Good. There are some really good tweets, and some players are pissed off, and I love to see it, honestly. You guys are doing some mental gymnastics. Big up Bushman, Mountain Bushman. Big up Mountain Bushman. Big up every single time. So big up Paul and Jacob. Drunk Vigo claiming that was a Poch masterclass. There is no such thing. Jaco says I still have a heart. That's what he said. That's what he.
Brilliant. Brilliant. I'm glad that the Chelsea fans are happy and celebrating that victory and think
that's a Liverpool fan. That's a Liverpool fan. Look, the world, I was telling my wife this, the world right now, the footballing world is rejoicing in the fact that we are not perfect anymore. That's what they're rejoicing on. They're rejoicing that we finally lost, and now they have a reason and a thing they can point out with Ainge. Rivals around the world have been waiting for this moment, Paul. They've been praying and manifesting our downfall. And look, brilliant. I don't think this is the beginning of the downfall. I think this is the first legitimate challenge that once we overcome, when we overcome this challenge, we're going to be off to the races. And for all the people really like, they're talking down on Ainge. When they bring up Ainge Postecoglou, they're talking about this high line.
Makes a good photo, doesn't it? I mean, it got the whole football world talking that
it's gotten everybody talking about it. Ainge Postecoglou, if nothing else, Ainge Postecoglou is a media mastermind. I mean, he's really taken the world by storm. There's headlines saying Ainge Postecoglou is, Premier League's newest favorite manager, and rivals on big channels are saying, "Oh, he's the flavor of the year." De Zerbi was the flavor of the year last year, and just wait till the Ainge hype dies down. And you know what? I don't really care. When the hype dies down for y'all, that don't mean it's died down for me. When the hype has died down for the masses, that don't mean the hype has died down for me. I can only speak about me as a Spurs fan, but the hype ain't ever gonna die. I'll put it that way. Until if after 3-4 more windows, we're still struggling to get the things done that Postecoglou wants us to get done, then I will start to question him and what's going on. But until then, this is just, we are getting up from getting knocked down, and we've gotten up so gracefully, like a Jackie Chan movie. That's how we're getting up, and they're like, no, we hurt him worse. He ain't supposed to get up that quick. But guess what? We getting up that quick, motherfucker. Like that's what it is. So at the end of the day, quit playing on my name and talk to me nicely.
Stop playing with my fucking name. All three of y'all. Stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it no more.
I ain't. I'm really not. But let's see. I do got the Twitter thing almost ready to go, but I got a few more people here in the chat saying what's up. About 70 of y'all in the house. Keep hitting those likes up, or don't. It's all good. I'm in my defeat robe that's keeping me cool and comfy. What's that? Podge School Edge. Yeah, that's one of the comments. Isn't that that's so fun? Big up Mike Doss says, oh yeah, the cello guy. We got another Liverpool fan in the house. Chelsea are in 10th place, lest we forget. Cursor's in the house. Big up Cursor every single time. Big up Chelsea Blue and Blue says smash the likes. This is a good point, because shout out Lewis, Carefree Lewis. I was watching his show with Henry Wright that he did, and they were cooking Henry a little bit because of, obviously, it's Chelsea versus Spurs over there, and he said something about, he was saying the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is now the Nicholas Jackson Stadium because he owns the stadium because of that hat trick. And so
because he took him 95 minutes how to crop a ball over the top without
I'll tell you right now, they don't care about that. They don't care about none of that. They just see Nicholas Jackson.
They don't understand football. Like us Tottenham fans, a few of us were moaning about the style of football under Conte and Mourinho. Well, that's what Chelsea likes. They don't like this potch, dazzling, progressive stuff. What's all this one-touch stuff then? Why are they only kicking the ball once and then it disappears from their feet? I don't get it. It's not Chelsea.
But anyway, I thought that was kind of funny. And what's funnier is that Brentford has won more at Stamford Bridge than they have in the calendar year. So this is a good rebuttal, San Antonio Hotspur. Thank you for that. Big up Chelsea Blue and Blues in the house. Darren Wimbledon, newest United Spurs of America family member, says, now we'll see the boss work his system, learning a lot, agile working. And this is kind of what I chalk it up to. Same thing with the Fulham. Same thing with this. Look, I don't think Ainge got it wrong. People are going to say that I'm delusional for that. People are going to say that I'm in love. Look, I've been hearing it all. I've heard everything said under the sun, and I'm here to tell you. I'm absolutely here to tell you.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
Moving it right along. That's all I got to say about that. More L's are on the way, says Drunk Vigo. I don't think so, but we'll see. Time will tell. Charlie Giza is in the house, says, you have to fail to become successful. I still believe Tottenham are going to get top 4. Big up Charlie Giza. Love that comment there. Spurs GCTV says, Jacob, pull up the league table. It's still happy reading. Will make you feel better. And that's a fair point. We are second, only behind the person that everyone's saying is going to pull the 4P. Which, if that happens, if it doesn't, who knows? I don't have that crystal ball. Whatever the crystal ball that everybody is rubbing, that is telling them finalities, I want to know where they bought it from, because I want one. I mean, if there's some crystal ball on Amazon everyone's buying that's telling them the future, this will happen, this is for certain. And then, I say this, I'm like, shout out Footy Judge Mo. I was on his channel last night, and he said, oh, because of this, it is going to be this way. And I'm like, where'd you get that crystal ball? And I think he got upset. He was like, you said crystal ball like 5 times. I was like, or 50. He's like, you said crystal ball 50 times. I was like, bro, this is the second time I brought up people having a crystal ball, because you just told me that this is going to happen. Well, if you got the lottery tickets number, bro, go ahead and share them with me, because I would love to know what they are.
I think we learned a lot out of the game. You know, I think we learned that we can trust the players to put in their efforts now, even Eric Dyer, you know. We learned that the players are all Angie's men. They've bought into it 100%, because that wasn't easy what they did on Saturday. You know, that wasn't easy. It would have been so easy for them to drop back, bugger this, and they didn't. And all the players have learned that if they keep doing that, the fans have got their back. And that meant a lot to them from what I've seen, the players, that standing ovation they you know, who does that when you get spanked 4-1? But, you know, it's a great solidifier, that game. Everyone was, the fans, the players, the manager, everyone was on the top of their game.
Look, speaking of top of their game, I brought up the Nicholas Jackson thing, and there's a Chelsea fan in here saying it's the Nicholas Jackson Stadium until further notice. Big up Insman TV. Bro, hit me up.
I mean, that's easy, isn't it?
Yeah. Bro, Insman, hit me up. I'm trying to get that Pro Clubs game going. We'll stream it, and it won't be like the last time we played. I'll put it that way. Big up. Richard Evans is in the house. Big up, Jacob. Oots, like secured. Thank you for hitting that like. Big up, Richard Evans. Howie I says, big up, boys. Jacob, you were spot on regarding all the stoppages in time leading to injuries, particularly hammies. While who plays center mid? Dyer, the Geeko Gecko, and Limu the Emu. Limu Emu. That's Liberty Mutual. Gecko Geico. The Gecko from Geico is what you're saying, I think, there. Big up, Howie. Look, I don't know if that's we'll never conclusively be able to say that I'm correct in my assumption, but I like the fact that I said it on the Football Terrace, which is one of the largest platforms there are in the YouTube football world. And, well, not like the largest, but it's up there as far as like people like me being able to get on there. Shout out Terry for allowing that. But like, I brought that up on there. I said, all these stoppage time in the first half, VAR checks, we talked about it. It reminds me of American football. And honestly, like the starting, the stopping, I think it's just basic science, basic like physio science or body science, whatever that word is. I think that's what was like a physio trainer, you know, those people that fucking stretch you out and stuff.
Yeah, you're sounding like an expert here, Jacob.
Yeah. Real good here. It's because I looked at you and then you nodded and then you distracted me. I'm gonna blame it on you, Paul. No, and the hood's up. I'm getting a little warm here. I'm saying that I just think it's basic science. The human body needs to stay warm with these muscles when you're performing at the highest output level, which is what Mickey Van de Ven was attempting to do on that run. He was trying to hit the gear that we've seen him hit every single week. But you know it ain't happen every single week. 5 VAR stoppages in the first half with about 20. I mean, I don't even know how long the ball was in play that first half, but it wasn't a lot. And to me, that's how those injuries happen. Now,
it's not just us. There's a load of injuries all over the place at the moment, and I think that's probably one of the reasons. You know, you're getting players to warm up, play a game, and then they stop after 10 minutes for 5 minutes, and there's no. I mean, I haven't seen any regime of players keeping themselves warm or anything like that. They're just sort of standing around drinking water, and then bang, off they go again. And also changes the complete momentum of the game as well. It's horrible. Just switch it off. Switch VAR off. All they got to do. There's no reason why they can't. Everyone knows it don't work. Just switch it off.
I'm interested to see what happens because it really feels like every channel, every conversation, no matter where it is, no matter whose team, no matter what the week, no matter who played, the same thing that's always talked about the most is refereeing, officiating, and VAR.
People are forgetting refereeing is a bit rubbish. But it just needs to be good enough that a game can take place and not go completely all nuts and all over the place. And referees have been doing all right at that for 150 years. And I hear people say, you know, on TalkSport, things like, our refereeing standards are appalling, blah, 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 blah. We need to improve well, how? Who? Where are these magical referees that are around, that are the better referees or training the referees? Maybe this is the human limit of what a human eye can do as a referee, because the game is played so fast. They're going to make mistakes, but their job is to keep the flow of the game going. That's why it says in the rules they can administer the laws in any way they see fit, whether that might be just making a couple of decisions just to calm a few players down. Referees have got used to have a lot of wiggle room, and like Ed said, we used to give advantage in an offside advantage went to the striker. That seemed to work all right. Whereas now that's disappeared because we're waiting for 10 minutes looking at two lines on a 2D photo that's supposed to represent something in 3 dimensions. It's just bonkers, man.
It is absolutely bonkers.
And furthermore, like you, I don't go on about refereeing decisions. You just got to take the rough with the smooth. That's the way it is. Referee's decision is full. Okay, you might say the guy that gets wrong or that wrong, but to say, I can't. It's very rare that bad refereeing decisions stop the better team from winning. Usually in football, the better team wins. That's the way it is.
Because at the end of the day, I said the same thing, Paul, after the match when we did our little powwow and we talked about it, that when VAR didn't go our way, there was still 77 minutes to my 77 minutes to my mathematical understanding for us to go out there and get that second goal and make it 2-0. But we failed to do that. We absolutely failed to do that. So that's where it starts. And then I would also start it with the Destiny Udogi I don't even know if it's a reckless challenge. It just looked like a clumsy challenge. It looked like me trying to go out there and slide tackle somebody, and I'm just poor form, and I decide to booty bounce with it and slide with 2 feet. Yeah, looking like Mario. You ever play the old Mario when you slide down the hill and you put your feet out? That's what it looked like. And honestly, I always say the same thing with Liverpool. Whether you think it's a red, a yellow, who gives a fuck at the end of the day, because it comes down to the referee and the VAR and their discretion. And the best way to not allow them to do that is to play cleaner and not let them interject in the match. I've always said that. I keep my same energy. If it's my players, if it's not my players, I'm never going to change, because VAR, I know what they are. This isn't maybe VAR and the refereeing will be good to me today. No, they're going to fuck it up. They're going to get you some good. They're going to do all of it. They are a pizza pie. You don't have pizza pie without pizza sauce, pizza cheese, and a pizza topping. The referee is going to give you the whole fucking caboodle. And for me, at least, I can only speak for me, when they get things right or wrong, I don't want to give them credit, and I don't want to blame them either, because that is a constant. And I'm not the greatest mathematic wizard that ever crossed the earth, but I know variables. There's dependent variables and independent variables. And an independent variable is refereeing will get it wrong. That is it will always happen. So use the rest of the time you got to either fix it or maintain what they gave you. That's what it is. And that's why when people say, oh, it's luck, Tottenham are lucky, this is luck, I say it's not luck that someone fucked up. That's not lucky. That's just a matter of circumstance and probability and timing. It's not luck. Human error is also a constant. Human error is all over the place every single day in every single workforce. No matter how professional you think it is, that's just the nature of the beast. And so for me, I can only speak for me. I don't care what VAR rule. It's Tottenham Hotspur's duty to go out there whenever they fuck it up or get it wrong or get it right. It's up to us to go out there and rectify it. And we didn't do that. We play like a bunch of clumsy people. But look, I did find a tweet that was apparently an hour ago. So I'm saying breaking news. Breaking news, Paul. Woo woo. Breaking news. But big up. Hugo's here as well. Big up, Hugo. Breaking news, everyone. Paul O'Queef has tweeted a minor update on the Mickey Van de Veen getting a scan. So November 7th, I'm gonna hide the breaking news just for now. It's it's titillating. And it's titillating news, Paul. It's really going to get you up out of your seat. So November 7th, which was yesterday, Paul O'Keefe said, going to have scans tomorrow or Thursday. There's no definitive answer currently, but obviously the fear is that it's a bad one because of how he pulled up, but currently no one knows the true extent of the injury. That was yesterday. So now that it's today, not Thursday, he said he's going to get scanned tomorrow or Thursday. And now tomorrow has come, and that is today. He has said a minor update on this, so not even a large update, just a minor one. Says it's now looking like they're going to wait until Friday. So not today, not tomorrow, but Friday. Shout out Rebecca Black. The scan will be Friday. Mickey going to get scanned on Friday. And I don't know why they're waiting.
What's going on, Tottenham? Are your doctors off playing golf or something? Get it done. Get it done. You don't want him walking around happy-go-lucky. Tell him the news, man. Fact him up. I don't know. What's going on here?
That's what's going on with the physio? What are we doing here? Because I also got this tweet here, and I'm going to share this real quick. Says, just for perspective with Mickey, July 11th, Sessegnon had hamstring injury, which the club doctors insisted on. We are now 4 months down the line, and he is still in recovery and doing light training and still looks weeks away from a return to even full training. If Mickey is anywhere near the same, we could see him out until the end of February, early March.
Yeah, and if Mickey's hamstring is made out of material set on cobwebs and tinfoil, then yeah, he will be out till January. But
maybe the youth factor will help us here. This is me hoping here. I'm pulling on hope strings, and I'm hoping that maybe the fact that he's so young, them things are like rubber bands. He just got to wait for it to heal one night. I mean, that's when your body does the healing, is while you sleep. So maybe he just needed a good rest. And then obviously, like the photos I was showing earlier, he is walking on it. And I know standing with a torn hamstring is possible, but walking with a torn hamstring, I feel like is damn near impossible. I wouldn't know. I've never torn my hammy because you know what? I don't go out there and stop, and then try to hit 6th gear. I only got 2 gears, baby, and I ain't hitting 6. I'll tell you that much.
Maybe Mickey van der Ven, he's so fast and his reactions are so acute that he pulled up at the nearest start of the tear just to arrest its progression through the rest of his stuff. So, I mean, he did pull up quick. I don't know. I mean, it could be anything, could it? It could be, 3 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks. I mean, who knows, man? Who knows? But, it gives other players a chance, doesn't it? We get to see a bit more of what we're about. And it will tell us. It's probably good that all this has happened before the January window, because now Ange will have a clear view. All right, this is what we got on the squad now. These are the backup players. This is what I need if we want to get any further. Instead of kind of, just saying, "Oh, we're going to need a player as a backup for Mickey and Romero." Well, now we need a bloody player, or if Eric,
there's already talks about that what you just mentioned. Now we need a Van de Ven replacement, and that now again the name that you've probably heard, Paul. I know you're not my channel scout. I know that much, but this name you have heard because we've talked about it here on the channel, which is Lloyd Kelly from Bournemouth, who does not start. I believe he's 25 to 27 years old. Look, if we're gonna go buy a 27-year-old center back, I'm gonna throw out the center back from Sporting. Portugal Sporting, what is their fucking name? Not Racing Portugal. Sporting CP? I don't know what their name is. But the dudes who have Marcus Edwards, we played them last year in the damn Champions League. That Sporting Portugal. Sporting Lisbon. There it is. Lisbon.
I'm always here with the fact.
They've got a pretty fast center back. He's very, very fast. How I discovered him, Paul, was EAFC. So he's a very, very fast center back, which they don't give nobody pace just for being all right. Like, for reference, Bentancur, who we all would say is pretty damn fast, I think he has like a 79 pace. So that's not that fast. But this guy has a very fast pace. And then I don't know how good of he is as a defender, but I'll tell you this much. Next time Portugal play, I'm going to keep my eye out for this guy, because if we need a guy who can be that recovery pace center back, we got to go get someone fast. So why not get a center back out there that can run? Look, he's 27. He ain't going to be here for the future, but he could be here for the now. Maybe get him on a 6-month loan. I don't know. Talk to me nicely. What do you think, Paul?
Oh, I don't know, man, but I know Phillips didn't play in the youth game.
And he was spotted with first team today in the footage. So
Right,
Ashley
you
Phillips, and he's a large and in charge man. And I've watched him play with the youth side. Now he plays Christian Romero's side for the U21s. So I thought that was interesting. And then he also played right back in another match I saw. He only played right back for the second half though. So for me, I'm trying to stop saying for me, because I always say for me. I feel like those are two of the words I say a lot. Is for me, I feel this way and this way. But big up JC says, big up Jacob. How are you doing? Hello, Paul. The weekend is not far. You will be back. Big up JC. Always being so kind, even though you could come in here and say this Nicholas Jackson Stadium, but hey, it's all good. But big up Bloke as well, giving it to us. Pause. Diluted. Oh, y'all are having a nice little conversation there. Sleepy Mocha says, in the Sistine Chapel. Is that where it is, Sleepy Mocha? So Sleepy Mocha know what I'm talking about. Big up, Sleepy Mocha. Big up Medi Selby as well. Says Van de Veen, Romero's a liability. Big up Medi Shelby. How are you doing? I love the Van de Veen hearts. Send all the hearts and well wishes. Thoughts and prayers, Paul. You know that's what America likes to do when there's anything that happens. Send thoughts and prayers to Mickey Van de Veen's hamster.
My wishes are with you. I'm thinking of you.
We are with you. Paul, if you stub your toe, just know I am with you.
Thanks, man.
I am omnipresent.
Oh, you're always watching me, are you?
I'm omnipresent, Paul.
Is that why when I came onto your channel the first time, I had to download some weird fucking software on my phone? I didn't understand.
I'm always listening. I'm always watching, Paul.
No.
Yeah, talk to me nicely. And even when you're away from me, you better be talking to me nicely. Big up the panel for not being delusional, says Bloke. I think it's because we were talking about the VAR. And look, about how we felt about VAR, which is, at the end of the day, bro, play cleaner. That's my opinion. Paul, did you have a different take on the officiating? Do you think he missed some stuff? Because there's still fans talking about like this decision, the Romero card, the Romero kick out. There's still a lot of conversation around the officiating. Do you have anything left about officiating?
Not really. I mean, I thought the referees' decisions on the field were good enough, and then VAR a lot of the time sort of backed him, and then sometimes they didn't. I mean, it was all much of a muchness. I mean, like the red cards for Romero and Udogie, yeah, well, you know, they were a bit silly, weren't they? So
do me a favor and do not open that door anytime soon. I have seen like 2 cars fly past your car, and it's scary. They're whew. I'm just imagining you opening your door and a car taking your door with you. So
well, what do you have in El Paso? What you look out the window and there's a horse and cart going past at 2 miles an hour or something?
They give you the old Southern wave. They don't nod their head. No, they just give you this. That's all you get out here in the South. But that's enough. That's courteous as hell. Big up Neil Shafton. What's the news on Van de Veen? I'm saying 6 to 8 weeks. Look, this thing has been 4 months. 4 months since Sessegnon had. If he has to have surgery 4 months before he's even doing light training on it, I'm saying if he has to have surgery, he's done. Hang him on the shelf. I don't even want to see him come back. Don't rush him back. Ain't no need to jeopardize a young man's longevity, in my opinion. Like I want him to stay here for a long, long time. Now, this was something I was thinking about selfishly last night, Paul. And tell me if this is crazy selfish. I was thinking about it. I was going on this conspiracy theory because we were playing so good and everything was looking so good. And I'm just tinfoil hat here for a second, Paul. And I said, you know, that hang on. I hang on. Big up futility. I'm gonna let you think on that for a second. People will still be talking about that game in 10 years. Ainge is the gift that keeps on giving. Come on, that was absolutely outrageously entertaining game of football. A lot of neutrals did enjoy what they were seeing. And look, we almost equalized 3 different times.
We almost won it. You know, with 3 really good chances, we almost won it. We put a smile on a lot of people's faces. And all, you know, I'm hearing the same old characters who, you know, basically, if any of them were Man Tottenham Hotspur, we'd be propping up the Conference League. We'd be going into liquidation. All these people that think they know better than Ange, or saying, "Oh, this isn't why Ange isn't called a great manager because he can't adapt." Well, he wins everywhere doing this. This is the thing. This is always what he does, and he always wins everything. So what? The Premier League something special? Something different? Oh no! This is England. We play a different sort of football in England. It's superior to the rest of the world. Bollocks! It's the same fucking game.
So, Paul, tinfoil hat. I said that I think Real Madrid, I have this weird PTSD about Real Madrid coming in and taking our players. And I've said they're going to come in and they're going to take Destiny Ugodi if he continues playing this well. Now, he got 2 silly yellows. Could have had a red earlier. I think that is a knock against his reputation now. Now, in rival chats, it's no longer talking about him in contention for being the best left back right now. It is, they're calling him you donkey. That's what they're. I didn't like it personally. I don't like.
And it's not like, you know, it's not like he didn't realise. Like the second he put in that second channel, the second tackle, that's the word I'm thinking of. The second challenge, the one that got in the red. He's lying down on the ground and he's going, "Oh fuck!" He knew he did, you know. But I mean, he was trying something. He just got it wrong, but he was trying something. But
he's a young kid. He's a young kid. Yeah. And if you can't be young and dumb and make some silly mistakes, and I think a lot of people in our fan base specifically have forgiven Destiny for it because same thing. He's young and you know, at the end of the day, like, let's not be overly harsh on a kid who's, again, like Mickey Van de Ven, made his 11th Premier League start, and that was his first Chelsea derby. You know what I mean? He could feel the emotions and tensions running high. He's out there breathing it, living it. So, like, I'm not upset with Destiny. It was silly. It was dumb. But that's what we do, man. We're humans. We're all humans. I said earlier, human error is a constant in every facet of life. Destiny had a human error a few times. He made a few mistakes in that game. So, but big up Neil Shafton here with the first super chat of the day. Says Cess has a history of chronic hamstring injuries, so I doubt Van de Ven is as bad of a deal. Maybe let me read that again because I think I know what they meant to say. Neil says Cess has a history of chronic hamstring injuries, so I doubt Van de Ven is as bad of a deal. Cess's main knock was chronic hamstring issues. They have been waiting for swelling to go down to scan Mickey Van de Ven. So that thing is swollen up, is what I'm hearing, Neil. That thing's swollen. Well, big up first off for the super chat. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Paul.
I don't think you can go off Ryan Sessegnon's hamstring experience as like a barometer. Because I mean, his scar tissue's got scar tissue. He's basically got no hamstring left. It's just one big scar.
You know, I don't like even. I forgot Sess was even on our squad, honestly. But you know what? We had him just long enough to register him as a homegrown, just like we did with Forrester, just like we did with Alfie Whiteman, and just like we did with Brandon Austin. Hey, it's fun. We have a bunch of goalkeepers. It's a lot of fun out here. But big up, Neil. Thank you so much for the donation to the channel, everyone. Big up right now. Keep hitting those likes if you don't mind. Participate in the poll. Where are we at in the poll right now? 95 votes, 73 likes. That's 23 people that hit a vote in the poll, Paul, but they didn't like the video, and that's okay. You can do what you want here on United Spurs of America. But 78% right now is saying the Mickey injury is what giving me the worst vibes from the Monday loss. If you needed my answer, Paul, which I'm sure you know, is I care more about Mickey Van de Ven's injury than I care about a loss to Chelsea. And so that's why I put him in the thumbnail personally, because I'm just thinking of him. Like I said, I got this. I feel like he's my son, and rivals are like, "Oh, his hamstring fell off the bone," and I took it like I'm taking it personally. You know what I mean, Paul? Do I have a problem taking it personally when people are beefing with my players?
I don't think it's possible to take it too personally, is it? He's one of your own. You're gonna stick up for him, aren't you? What are you supposed to do? Oh, yeah, no, it's all right, Mickey van der Ven. We won't miss him. He's not that good. You know, what does he ever do for Tottenham? You know, of course you're going to stick up for him. Rival fans, what do they know? They support inferior clubs. They don't support the best team the world has ever seen, do they? What do they know? Bless them. They're just there to make up the fucking numbers.
Say it loud and say it proud, Paul. Love it. Great masterclass waiting till the 93rd minute. Oh, Drula joined in on the shit talking there in the chat. Big up everybody. Love to see the football banter. Yeah, wait for Pochettino to get sacked. Look, hey, we gave him, you know, when you're playing a video game and you're doing the water part and you can only stay under the water for so long, we gave him a fresh breath of air, so now he can keep swimming through the waters, the murky waters that is Chelsea.
He's just gone and stuck his head up through like some drain. And then he's back on again.
I love it. Look at Poch. He was squirming. He looked nervous. And honestly, with Ange Postecoglou, this is something I haven't talked about. I don't think anyone's talked about. Big up JC. I'm going to talk about this in a second. But full pre-match, Pochettino, Ange Postecoglou, they hug a little bit longer than I thought. And they did he brought him close and he did the in his ear. And I'm wondering what was said, because then post-match, after that ass whooping, it looked like Postecoglou was pretty pissed, but Pochettino was pretty happy, and he was also seemed like he was saying sorry for doing that, you know? And Ainge was just like, oh, it's all right, it's all good. And I was just like, I miss last year when Conte and fucking Tuchel were about to throw down. Don't shake my hand, you ugly bastard. You know what I mean?
Look me in the eye. Oh, after that, Tuchel was dead to me after that. You know, I know the differences between Conte, but Tuchel was such an out-of-order psychopath. I didn't want him anywhere near the club.
Yeah, that's tough. Big up JC says, Jacob, you know what's funny? I asked to underline in 3 Spurs stream a statement that CFC are coming. Everyone laughed. I probably did as well. Look, Hugo, who's an Arsenal fan, was in the chat before the match, Paul, and said Nicholas Jackson hat trick incoming. And I remember pulling that up and laughing at it. And
I think it's still a joke. So
they're saying it's the worst hat trick ever scored in the history of the sport.
I mean, how many goes do you need to tap in a ball against 9 men? It's going to be great for his confidence. Woohoo! Well,
yeah, we gave Jackson. Neil Shafton also says these next games are going to force Spurs and Ainge to give some decent coin for acquisitions because we will need them. So maybe this could be a blessing in disguise. And this was kind of what I was alluding to with my conspiracy theory was, you know, Destiny playing those as good as he was, Van de Ven playing as good as he was, and then for Destiny specifically, now he's got a couple yellows and a red card. He's got suspension. So you could say something to say for that big club Real Madrid to come in and scoop him up. Maybe we wait another year because he still seems a little, and I think that's great. That could be a blessing in disguise. Destiny picking up this silly, goofy double yellows. That's my opinion. I'm starting to look at the glass half full here. And Mickey Van de Ven getting an injury, there's no way I can flip this and reverse it and give it a positive outlook. But what I can do is say, it just means however long he's injured, we have him for, and however long it takes him to come back, we have him for, and then to hit the level he was at again, that's how long we have him, and then we'll see. So if anything, I feel like this just gives us more time with these boys. And some of them I feel like we were, for me specifically, I was a little bit worried. I guess the Real Madrid PTSD setting in. Do you think that this past weekend could actually be a blessing in disguise as far as what Neil's saying, that we're going to get some players and that we could actually maybe see out these players that we like not go to a Real Madrid type?
Well, like I say, you know, these injuries happening now, we can see what the state of our squad really is now. Because I mean, people have been saying it's thin. Well, let's see how thin it is and what we can do with it. And Ange will know exactly what he wants to bolster it up. But as for player leaving, I think a few of them are going to want a cheeky little Premier League title with Tottenham Hotspur before they go anywhere, man. I'm not saying it's going to happen this year, but next year's another story.
Yeah. Look at that. Don't open your door, man. JC said, I don't understand why Poch was so apologetic in his interviews. He is still Tottenham daddy. He was very kind and endearing pre-game. And then after game, he was also a little bit like, I'm so sorry I had to fucking kill you. I'm so sorry. I love you so much, Tottenham. And it's just like, yeah. Big up, JC. I'm curious. Yeah, Chelsea fans in the house, let me know how y'all are feeling about Pochettino just being so kind of nice to us when the fan bases are pretty upset with each other. It's interesting.
I think he's just jealous. He wants a piece of that pie back, doesn't he? Because he sees all the love going to Ange Postecoglou and no love.
He said I could get that again.
Yeah,
he never managed in that stadium neither.
Is that right?
Because our first goal was Heung-min Son under Mourinho.
Okay.
In that stadium. So he's never managed Tottenham in that stadium specifically.
Right.
So I thought that was kind of interesting. And maybe he was like, damn, this bitch is nice. I wish I stayed, you know.
At least we own our own club, unlike, Chelsea and the shadowy Stamford Bridge Grounds Trust or whatever they're called. Some strange relationship there. Yeah,
I call it the Stam Fart Bridge.
Yeah.
That's what I call that place. Looks like a big fart. But that's just me being biased. Hey, I'm sure it's a lovely place and a lot of lovely people work there, I'm sure. No?
It's nice. Awful, man. It's a cesspit.
Yeah, fuck that place. Futility says, this would have never happened if only somebody was on hand to give Mickey Van de Veen some milk.
He needs some milk.
He needs milk now more than ever. Vigo's drunk. Y'all having fun with drunk Vigo tonight. Neil says, we'll learn a lot these next few games. Our former starters have been on the bench, so Dyer, Royale, Davies are all going to get a chance to play for a new contract someplace else next season. Look, this is one of the things I did want to talk about. I don't know how much time we'll spend on it specifically, but Eric Dyer. Now, Paul, you know where I'm at. You know what I've been thinking and feeling about this cat.
We're in a similar place, man. We're in the same neighbourhood as far as Eric Dyer is concerned.
Eric Dyer is set for his first start under Postecoglou at Wolves on Saturday, says Dan Kilpatrick.
Oh, well. Look, he has been known to string the 6 good performances before getting all lazy. So, he's got the incentive. He wants a new contract somewhere else. So he's got to put himself on show. And look, I can't fault him for what he did on the weekend. He was part of the team performance. Nearly got a brilliant goal. And if he'd have got that goal, I probably would have erased most of his hat-taps in the past. Because I'm fickle like that. But
legit, Paul, when he scored that, Paul, you know exactly where I stand with this bloke. But when he did that, in that moment, I was ready to hug him. I was ready to get Eric Dyer moisture on my body. Okay?
Yeah.
Because that was fucking beautiful. And there are some interesting replays that show it going off of 2 Chelsea heads before it reaches him. So it should have been a goal. But look, again, I don't put the blame because we still had another chance to go get it. We still had chances after that. Look, so I'm not gonna harp on it too long about it went off a Chelsea player. Look at the video evidence, right? Because I think that's a little lame. But what I will say is, Paul, when that thing went in, I was ready to do a video. And I was gonna be shameless and put my face on the thumbnail and everything. It's gonna be Eric Dyer, I am sorry. Because if he hit that goal in that moment on that day,
it would have been perfect.
I would have never played that video of him laughing at us being losers again.
That's right.
I would have shut the fuck up. Because you know what? Davinson Sanchez got me to shut the fuck up whenever he scored a game winner at Watford. or it was at home versus Watford, and it was in the 90-something minute stoppage time on a set piece. Davinson Sanchez hit. When he did that, I said, all right, bro, you just got us 3 points. And then we ended up getting Champions League that season. And I had a great time enjoying that. So, you know, Davinson Sanchez, shout him out. He also was out there with Galatasaray today.
Yeah, look, if he does start, we just got to understand his limitations. You know, he's slower than Van der Veer, so we know that. So if we're playing, halfway up the pitch, there are going to be times through no fault of Eric Dyer's, you know, it's just limitations of what his body can do. He's probably going to get caught out. He seemed to be a lot better defender running backwards than sort of instead of just being in the box between the attacker and the goal. And we're probably going to ship a couple more goals, but guess what? Our front line haven't started firing. We only saw 15 minutes of Brennan Johnson and Son and Kulu in action. I thought they looked pretty damn tasty. So I think even if we do have someone like Dyer in defence or whoever's there that are, second string, I still think there's every chance that we're going to score more goals than we let in anyway. Because we've been missing chances. We haven't been, top notch. We've been good enough. I'm not saying they've been crap or anything like that, but they're not there yet. And I started seeing like the Chelsea game, we are really playing balls into space so well now. The ball just goes to space and another Tottenham player gets it. We're attacking space beautifully. So when we see more of that up front, we're going to score more goals. Okay, we might let a couple in. I can live with it. I'm happy. And if Eric Dyer, as long as Eric Dyer does what he can, the best he can do, I don't have a problem. It's those performances standing around doing nothing, saying we always lose. But you're right. When he banged that goal in, I was going, yes, Eric, yes. Because what a bloody story that would have been. 9 men up the stick, and Eric bloody Dyer scores a volley. That's what football's about, man. It's about stories. I'm gonna remember that game on the weekend way longer than if we'd sat and parked the bus and come away, maybe 1-1 or 2-1 loss or something like that. It was valiant. It was heroic. Everyone did their part.
That's been a lot of discussion. Was it genius or was it naive? Now,
I have a huge problem with anyone saying it was naive.
Tell me why.
What you're saying there is, it's kind of implying, Ange doesn't know football, he hasn't managed in England before. He's been managing nearly 30 years. Naive would mean that Ange Postecoglou he's so naive, right? He knows so little about football. He doesn't understand that there's even a possibility of a thing called parking the bus or playing defensive. He doesn't know. He's naive. No, reality is he does know, and he just thinks it's shit. So we're going to go and attack. That's what it means. I'm not naive at all. It's ridiculous. And I hate this. It wouldn't work against this team or wouldn't work. Fuck off. Fuck off. What we're doing at Tottenham Hotspur now. We're playing attacking football no matter what. And sometimes it ain't going to go our way, but the more we do it, the better at it we're going to get. You're only going to improve at attacking football by doing it in a game, no matter what. It don't matter if you're losing 3-0 to Man City, you're still going to try and do it because you're going to get better. So then next time, you've got a big game, you've got more of a chance. If you suddenly come up with reasons and excuses and scenarios why, no, we want attacking football at Tottenham, but not all the time. Maybe not when we go down to 9 men, not when this happens, not when that happens. It's weak, absolutely mentally weak. So, no, I loved it. I thought it was something I'd never seen before. It just shows us, Ange is going to keep doing it. Whether you like it or not, he's going to keep doing it. And that's good for us. It's building a winning culture and do-or-die culture at Tottenham. You can't just turn that on and off. It's got to be on constantly. You've got to take some bad medicine and ill consequences with that sometimes when it don't work out. But you've got to keep on doing it. That's what we're doing. Genius.
That is a great segue to lead me to something that I did want to show you. You talk about building something and creating something. And to me, above all else, is a mindset, an attitude. There's a great poem, stanza, whatever you want to call it. It's called Attitude. And my stepdad, as a young, rebellious teenager, he made me write it 100 times because I gave my mother some lit. I gave her bad attitude. And he said, there's nothing I can't stand more than when you give your mother bad attitude. So I need you to write as part of my punishment for talking back to my mother. So I wrote this poem down. Basically, I'll give you the synopsis of it. It talks about attitude and how that is the only thing you can control. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. Because, like, if my car breaks down, I can react, get all angry, go crazy, steaming, fuming, and then I have to walk to the gas station and my heart give out because I just went fuming and angry and I'm so stressed out about it. Or I could say, hey, you know what? Things happen and I just got to roll with the punches. It's all about attitude. So I'm not trying to give anyone life lessons, but just a taste of why I think it's so important and why I believe that it is not a mistake what Postecoglou did. Because he looked those men at halftime. He could have told them, all right, boys, sit back. Remember what Liverpool did to us. Let's just fucking sit there and do what they did because they made it really hard for us to break down and get a goal. We could have.
It didn't work for Liverpool either. Didn't work.
Yeah, good point.
So all these people saying, "Oh, park the bus." Well,
speaking of park the bus, Manchester United had a man sent off. They parked the bus, and there was 4 goals scored in that game. Now it was both sides, but they ended up losing. But they sat back with 10 men, and that's what happened. So, look, nothing's guaranteed in football. And when people say, oh, if Postecoglou would have done this, then you would have gotten X, Y, and Z, you don't fucking know. Where's the crystal ball? Someone tell me, send me the link for the crystal ball. I want to know how these results are going to go, because you're saying when people go on their platforms and they say, oh, I know for a fact this would have happened because of this, this, and this. It's like, bitch, no, you don't. That's like me saying that. I don't know. I'm just taking an educated guess, as educated of a guess as I can.
You know, there's people out there, they say, oh, I only talk in facts. I only talk in reality. And then they'll say something like, well, if we have parked the bus, we would have won. Well, that's not reality. What are you talking about, fool? Reality. Reality was the game happened. We lost 4-1. The crowd loved it. The players loved the fans loving it. You know, okay, we lost 3 points. Big bloody deal. I think the, you know, something like that. You know, that's something special. Having that in, you know, the players having that in their memory, the fans having that in their memory. I think that stands as much better stead than coming out with 1-1. What would we learn? Nothing at all. So it was great. Ifs and buts, bollocks.
It's funny. It's always with rivals and even some Spurs fans. It's always ifs, buts, woulds, coulds, shoulds. But then as soon as you use that, like if they say, oh, you can't say if, buts, shoulds, coulds, and woulds. And it's like, okay, it's just always. That's why for me, I get up here, I say my piece. I don't shame anybody for their opinion, whether I agree or disagree. I'm just going to tell you how I feel about it. Now, I don't think Ainge made a mistake. I think he's, like we were talking about, creating. He's building something. How many times have we seen post-match our players hugging, kissing, smooching, loving on the family of our opposing, and we just got our ass fucking kicked? Well, this that I'm going to share is an example of something that I do like. And look, some fans are trying to take the piss out of us for it, but look at Basuma's reaction. He's pissed. He's fucking pissed. At the touchline at full-time, Conor Gallagher went to shake his hand. He said, bitch, get off me. And people are saying, oh, what a bad sport. What a little temper tantrum. I mean, again, there's always 2 ways to look at it. To me, I see somebody who's not okay with fucking losing. And that's what I want in my locker room.
I love that. I can't stand all the shirt swapping and fees and all that. If Basuma had a Gallagher, I would have loved it even more. You know, it's probably a bit content out there.
They almost did. They almost did fucking throw down. And that's what I want to see. I want to see. Jose Mourinho came into our locker room and said, y'all a bunch of good guy pussios. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. They did fucking nothing. Conte, they did fucking nothing. Nuno, they did even worse. And so now we're seeing players start to give a fuck. And that's what I want to see. Players give it. You go back. I'm not saying you have to, because that'd be fucking monotonous to do it. But if you go back and listen, or anyone who was here in the summer, when I said one of the things I want to see this season, it's not about where we finish. It's not about how many games we win or lose. For me, it's about creating a mindset, an ethos, a mentality, and a philosophy that trickles from the top down all the way to the U7s. That's what I want. He's not okay with fucking losing. He wasn't the only one pissed. I like pissed.
You know what else? You know what else? This team, other teams have seen Tottenham. They're always going to be fighting, and more than that, they know that Vicario is the best goalkeeper in the Premier League, bar none. You cannot. I've not ever seen a performance like that from a goalkeeper. It was astonishing. It was perfect. I know we let 4 goals in, but that was the chance for Jackson's wonder hat-trick at the end, weren't it? So, but his play, you tell me a centre forward isn't going to be running at that guy with that somewhere in his mind that extra pressure. This goalkeeper ain't no easy pushover. I've got to really do something special to get past him. Vicario was absolutely outstanding. I loved his interview after the game as well, and he loved the fans because the players were not expecting that reception by the fans at the end of the game, and the fact that the fans did it, icing on the cherry on top of the cake. I mean, you must have loved watching Vicario play. I usually shit myself when I see goalkeeper trying to play football, but every time he came out, he was fucking perfect. It was a brilliant performance.
He was doing everything I never wanted to do as a keeper in that match. I'm not fast. Don't make me go get that ball. What is this, 6 clearances in the second half?
And there's a couple of times
insane.
He get there to intercept it and then not rush it. He wasn't just he would like almost dummy the player. It was so good, and his reflex saved, and he nearly saved the penalty. Man, we have got such a good keeper on our hands, and we could have him hanging around for years. That's exciting to me. If all the games and whether Andrew's a genius or a fool or whatever, we've learned something a lot about our goalkeeper today, and that's going to do wonders for his confidence and also the rest of the team because they know when they're up the pitch they've got that guy behind him.
And not for nothing either. I've been listening to rival shows, and just as much as they were taking the piss, the one thing every rival said, and they all said, "Oh yeah, for sure." They all nodded their head and agreed, and then moved on to the next thing. Was that Vicario is a fucking baller. He is absolutely phenomenal. I love watching his goal. And people always say he started out rough. He didn't start out rough. His first start, he just looked nervous in the face and didn't look. But every week since then, for me, he has answered questions. He's answered questions for a lot of the fan base. And I think everyone at this point is in love with the man. And I'm glad.
I'm really home because I've been a bit disappointed. The highlights of the game on YouTube. They don't tell the full story. I'm hoping someone somewhere puts together a clip compilation of all of Vicario's actions in that game because it was. I mean, world class is overused, but it was a perfect performance. It was incredible.
No. Bowley's in a negotiation to take over Sporting. That's interesting. Neil Shafton says we need at least 2.
Let's play ball. I got a friend from Mexico, so I know all about Spain.
Play ball. Neil Shafton says we need at least 2 now just because Romero is an issue with the cards. Can Basuma play center back? I would not put Basuma at center back. I'd put Højbjerg at center back. Emerson Royale at center back. But
I hate to say I did a video probably back in July saying Pierre was an option for centre back. I don't want to. I'm not one of these ones that brag or anything, but I did say that it was a slow news day, and I just pulled some shit out of my ass. But I thought Pierre was immense. He was superb when he came on. Just the passion alone. When he cleared that ball, and he's like, "Rah!" That was one of the moments of the match. He's just cleared the ball, and he's pumped. Loved it.
I love that guy. Sorry, I was just taking a second real quick, adding Hotspur Hippie's channel to the title of this video. So if you're watching live, in just a moment, it will be in the title of this video. And if you're watching on playback, you can click it right now. Go subscribe to the Hotspur Hippie. We are at an hour 15. Look, I'm about to text my wife and figure out if my son's asleep because we can keep the party rolling. Are they saying, oh, they hit me with ad suitability? They said I'm limited ad suitability today. They ain't going to be nice to me today. YouTube is upset with me.
I don't understand how it works.
I don't either, but hey.
Oh well, whatever.
They'll sort themselves out. But big up everybody who is tapping in. Let me see how everything's looking. We are over an hour, so this is a good reminding time to say hit that like if you don't mind, hit that subscribe if you haven't already. We are on the road to 3K. What's up?
Are you just throwing that at me to welsh out on my appearance fee again there, Jacob? Oh no, mysteriously you have the
ad suitability can't give you percentage. That's it. But big up everybody who is tapping in and hitting that like. I see 82 likes. Thank you to every single 82 of you. And then 115 votes, so about 30 people, the usual amount that vote in the poll but do not hit a like. But that's okay. You can do as you please. Mickey injury is still a resounding yes, as that is what killed the mood for everybody. So that's interesting. Ronnie's in the house. Big up. Lisa O says, I like Paul's rationale. Big up to you two. Big up Lisa every single time. And again, big up Neil. Thank you so much for the super chat. That does mean a lot. Neil Shafton says, one loss does not make a season. Absolutely. You don't, just as much as you don't win the league in November, you don't lose the league in November neither. So it's all still up for grabs if you want to look at it that way.
It's funny. I've heard people say, the same people saying, oh, well, it's early days in the season. It's only 10 games. You can't tell anything from that. And then game 11, it's fucked. It's all over. It's like, what?
And the thing, yeah, the thing with, which big up Zapur, I see you just put Paul's channel in the chat. Big up, click that link in the chat right now. It'll take you on over to the Hotspur Hippie. Hit a like and subscribe over there. But I forgot what I was going to say. What the hell were we talking about, Paul? I was just too busy trying to plug your channel.
It's the same people that saying you can't tell anything after 10 games. They're now saying after 11 the season's over.
That reminds me. A lot of people, rivals specifically, on YouTube, saying when they're talking about our next few matches, they're saying, okay, you don't have Romero for City, Villa, or Wolves. We don't have Udogie for Wolves. Who knows with Van de Veen, and they're also throwing Madison in there. Now I want to throw this out there about Madison. He was seen leaving the pitch walking. He didn't train today. He did not train today, but he was seen on the pitch walking after the match without a boot. And he's been on a boot before, and he played the next match.
I'm just making this is just what I during the game. I thought. So that was when Romero was sent off, wasn't it? And Ainge had to do a bit of a reshuffle. As I say, I'm only guessing here, but I'm thinking, well, Ainge has been taking Madison off, say, the 65th minute for Nigel or whatever. So if Ainge knew he was going to have to do that in the second half anyway, well, then why not do it now and see how the game plays out? So because he was running out of substitution slots. So it's like, Madison's going to go at some stage. I'll do it now, bite the bullet now, and then as to where the game goes, it gives me a bit more freedom. It gives me a bit more knowledge of how what's going on to make better substitutions later on. So I didn't really read it as a big Madison injury scare, but I don't know if that, people are saying he's taking a knock or whatever. I don't know, but I'm not. I don't know. People are so pessimistic, aren't they? I don't. Fucking hell. See, those Amazon crystal balls, they are half murky and dark, and do you get them in a bucket of virgin's blood or something like that on a moonlit night? It's like monkey's paw crystal ball. That's what they're looking at.
So Donovan here correcting me on my claim, which he says it's not true. I distinctly remember Ndombele scoring against Villa on his debut at the new stadium, and Pochettino was in charge. So I'm just going to do a quick Google. Who scored first goal in new...
I thought we played Man City in the Champions League at White Hart Lane. I thought that was our first game, but and when Poch was on charge.
Per Wikipedia, the match was won by Tottenham 2-0 with Son Heung-min scoring the first ever official goal at the new stadium. It was versus Crystal Palace. Yeah. That's what Wikipedia says. Look, I'll share this tab so y'all see. It's highlighted. The match was won 2-0 with Son Heung-min scoring the first ever goal. at the new stadium. That's what I'm saying. I really feel like it was 2018. That was his final year. What day was it? The stadium opened April 3rd, 2019. Give me 1 second. I'm getting to the bottom of this.
You're like a dog with a bone, man. You just
So Son scored and Eriksson scored versus Crystal Palace in this game. Wait a second. I'm trying to see who's it. I just want to make sure because I'm damn sure I thought it was Mourinho who was the manager when we scored our first goal at that stadium. On this day. Let's see. Here it is. I'm watching a video right now. I can't share it because I don't know whose video it is. Hugo Lloris in goal. Trippier, Alderweireld. Yep, Pochettino was the manager. So you're right. So you were right and I was right, Donovan. He was the manager at the new stadium, but it was Crystal Palace and it was Son scoring the first goal ever. That's the part that I got right at least. Was I remember Son scored the first ever goal at the stadium. That's what I remember. But hey,
this is the Tottenham Hotspur Jackson Stadium, is it?
The Tottenham Jackson Nicholas Stadium. Oh, jeez.
That's how low they set their sights. They think the player should have a stadium named after one dodgy hat trick.
I think it was just more banter. They're having fun. They're having fun. Let them have some fun. Why not? JC's talking about the reaction from Pochettino and how endearing he was to Spurs. Says, my reaction was one of extreme amongst Chelsea fans. Didn't get it why he was twerking when Poch said he wished same relationship with CFC fans as was during Spurs success. My reaction was better win, and I thought it was a very underwhelming statement when Poch called successful Tottenham time. I don't want him if he calls that successful Spurs time. He won nothing. Do you think Pochettino was successful with this, Paul?
It's a tough one, isn't it? Because there are a lot of circumstances beyond his control. Look, I have to say ultimately no, really. It's a tough one, though, because like when I think about Spurs managers like in the last 20 years, I probably had more fun time when Harry Redknapp or Martin Jol were in charge than Poch, and I don't know why I think that. I don't know. Maybe it was also, we were playing in Wembley, and that last season that we had at White Hart Lane was great, but we just didn't get there. We had some good times, but we didn't get there in anything. And like when he says things like cups are just for egos, they're just decorations. I don't know. I certainly didn't want him back. Ange Postecoglou was
I didn't either. I didn't even know who Postecoglou was, but I knew I didn't want to go back to Pochettino. That's where I was, just because why would we do that? Why would we do that? I just felt like he didn't bring us any actual success. We had good times, great vibes, and we reached places we didn't think we could. But at the end of the day, the game is about glory. And we had some good times, but we didn't have any glory, unfortunately. We were very close, so we sniffed it. We smelled it. We were so close to it. Big up to Futility with an Australian $29.99 super sticker. I don't know how much that is in Australia money, but I love me some kangaroo bucks.
That's about 57 cents, I reckon that is.
How much?
57 cents. American
really?
Cents.
Well, thank you so much, Futility, for the dono to the channel. The color is orange. So I'm not sure what that translates to, but Futility, either way, how much ever this is in American dollars, you have a dollar symbol on it, so I'm taking it for $29.99 super sticker. And the sticker is, hang on. It's like a hugging lemon person that's like, mwah. So, hey, Futility, here's a hug for you. Thank you so much for the super chat. There's a virtual hug for you. Big up, Futility, for the financial dono to the channel. Again, if you don't want to do anything financial, don't worry. You can still support the channel. Just hit a like, hit a subscribe, and vote in that poll. Both of those things help the channel grow. 118 votes, 86 likes. About 30 of y'all didn't want to like the video, but that's okay. Everyone is allowed to do whatever they want to do here at, I was going to say the Ritz, and I don't know why. Why was I about to say you could do whatever you want here at the Ritz? Is that a song, or is that like a...
Putting on the Ritz is.
Putting on the Ritz. Look, I've started this from David Calvino. We'll talk about it, but I got this from Sleepy Mocha, and I want to cover it because I thought it was an interesting question there, Sleepy Mocha. So I did save it. Hey, shout out those hearts. I see those hearts in the chat. They're spamming the hearts, and hey, here's some hearts for you. Bang, bang, bang. But Sleepy Mocha says, would the officiating approve if they add another referee? They added another one in the NHL 20 years ago, and they added another one to the NBA 30 years ago. They've also done it to the NFL as well about 10 years ago or 15 years ago. They added, or they either added an official or they just moved their positions around so they could get better views of calls. Look, would adding another dude running around on the pitch help officiating because maybe it alleviates some pressure from just the one man, or do you think we got to just stick to what we know?
I might disagree. I don't know. I'm an curious. I think one is fine. They're not the panopticon. They haven't got eyes in the back of their head. So I used to like that. Things going on behind the referee's back.
It's kind of like in school, right? When the teacher turns around to draw something on the board, you can fucking throw something. You can send a love letter. You can do whatever you want.
He's getting away with shit. Something for nothing.
Who doesn't like getting away with some shit?
But now it's all, whoa, look at that. 5 minutes ago, I saw someone headbutt one on the end of the pitch. That's a free kick. So I thought, no, the referee's here. It didn't happen. So I like that. I think it's, it's a physical game. That's the way it is. I think two referees, you're asking for trouble. They don't agree. They'll have to have their little conferences. Did you see it? No, I didn't see it. Oh, shit, what are we going to do? I don't know. One referee, two linesmen, that's fine. They're not going to get everything. They never have. But I just don't understand where this... Well, Ames said it in one of his press conferences that people are looking for perfection, but the beauty of football is it's always been a bit shit. It's always been a bit grey and fudgy and arsey. And if you iron all that out of it, you're left with nothing. You can't do it.
That's a very good point. Big Upside Dancer says if the Wicker Man scored that volley, he would say, Jacob, talk to me nicely. Wicker Man, of course, being Eric Dyer. You coined that phrase.
Well, of course, yeah, I did. Because
because of the trailer for his documentary, they set him on fire. Big Upside Dancer. Look, there's Paul spitting facts here. Yes, Paul, agree. JC saying that was a bus, Paul. They just moved it to the halfway line. We parked the bus just in a different spot, not in the designated bus parking area. Zapur, big up, buddy, says Ainge's tactics would have worked if Van de Veen was on that line, not Dyer. Van de Veen would have caught anyone who made those runs. I agree with that, but then to play the devil's advocate here, they would say, they being the royal they, would say, well, clearly then you have, well, this is what I was told when I said, Ainge is going to play the way he wants to play. Well, Dyer can't do those tactics. Dyer can't. I know that. You know that. Ainge knows that. We all know that. Then they said, well, surely he has to alter his game plan. I said, why would he alter his game plan because of someone's inefficiencies? That sounds dumb. You would put it on display, and then you look at it and say, this is why that doesn't work in this. So for me, I feel like this.
And I mean, that's going to be crap for a player's confidence, is it? Oh,
Let's change the whole fucking thing because Eric can't play.
Eric's shit. So
Eric's shit. So when he's on the pitch, we're doing something completely different.
Yeah. Come back, lads. No, man. You've got to. Look, it's not going to be. I think this is. I think with Van de Ven it worked definitely. But Eric Dyer isn't the only player on the pitch. That's not the only match that's being gained. Some people are just looking foot in front. In racing, when I was racing, there were some drivers that even though they were fast, they would only be able to see foot in front of their car. They couldn't consider the bigger picture at all. And that's what people are doing. It's like, yeah, I know we're not going to be as good with Eric Dyer there, but if we change the system, none of the other 10 players in the pitch are going to learn anything about how Ange wants them to play. Yeah, we might have some losses, but it's worth it. Long, you know. What do we do? Change the way we play now for say 4 games. Okay, well then add at least 4 games on to the end, at least of how far we could have got, because we ain't been learning shit.
Yeah.
Got to take the rough, man. This is the way we're going. We're going in balls out. You can't half-arse it.
You knew exactly where I was going next, Paul, because the word choice you just chose. Because Teabag here says Ainge has got it wrong twice as a Spurs manager, in my opinion. First, against Fulham, and second was against Chelsea when it was 1-1, not to turn to the defense and protect the paint. And then look at this immediate reply from the Beer Talk. You cannot teabag without balls.
That's right. That's right.
Plain and simple.
So that guy's saying at certain points we've got to become a bunch of pussies. Oh no, we only play the attacking football when we're not playing someone better than us. When the situation's all nice and easy. No, those guys doing it in this situations at Chelsea. When they're 11 men on the pitch and bloody Sheffield United, it's going to be a cake for them.
Yeah.
Worth it.
No, I agree with you. Big Up Nate says, love the passion from Højbjerg and Dyer. We haven't spoken really about Højbjerg, but he obviously had that clearance off the line. He also had some really great recovery runs and cleaned up the ball pretty nicely. What do you make of Højbjerg? Do you think this is now 30 mils disrespectful in January? Maybe we got to put him at around maybe 105 million to be exact. If you know, you know.
The role he's doing, unless we get a whole load of better players, I would like to keep him. I think he's very useful. You know, he's shown that we can stick him in a number of different positions, and he'll do a job for you. He's not going to be the best, but he's certainly not going to be the worst. And he's not going to not try. I thought Højbjerg was great, and I think he's been pretty good all season, actually. So, Ange knows he can rely on Højbjerg going on, steady the ship a bit, and maybe a bit of magic happens as well. So, yeah,
because think about that show, Gilligan's Island. If they had steadied the ship, they would have never crashed and ended up on that island. And then he's got the Gilligan hat and everything. That's what I'm talking about. But Big Up Neil Shafton says, where have they been hiding Vicario all that time? And Empoli. And I wasn't watching Empoli, so I never heard of him. But I love him so much already. And I love that he's a bit psychotic. That's a little fun, you know? And to see him play in that manner, we really got to see on full display what they said we bought him for. Which I've seen on full display the things they didn't say we bought him for, which was being a fucking master in the box, a madman, saving things that you shouldn't, jumping in front of bullets as if he is the anti-Neo from The Matrix. You see how I did that? Full circle.
How's that David Raya going now? Is he having a good season, David Raya? Could have had.
He's not even starting every match.
There you go.
Maybe if there's an Arsenal fan listening right now, you could correct me if I am wrong. But the Outlaw says, we win 4-0 versus Wolves this weekend. Other teams can't comprehend how we aren't crying like babies after a loss. They don't get it. They're all turning it around. Oh, it's just Spursy mentality. You take a 4-1 thumping at home and somehow you turn it into a positive. They don't see the bigger picture here, Paul.
I bet if Liverpool came out as a bit more with 9 men, and still lost because they're not as good as us, maybe their fans and everyone wouldn't be crying so much about the decisions. If they went down with a bit of bravery instead of big cowardly custards in their own penalty area, maybe they would have feeling the same. In fact, there's no other fan can understand why we're cheering lost, because this is the first time ever that's been done. In the Premier League, at least 9 men in the other half of the pitch. So other fans have got nothing, no frame of reference to compare it with. We're the ones who saw it and experienced. Result aside, I bloody loved it, man. I bloody loved it.
I loved it too. Big Up Ren, good morning. What time is it out there for you, Paul? Big Up Ren.
It is
11
on Thursday morning.
Thursday morning. Good Thursday morning to you, Ren. Happy Thursday indeed. I'm arriving.
Courtney.
What's that?
I didn't know I was talking to Paul McCartney. Where did he come in? I heard his voice.
Bring on the immaculate vibes. Yes, indeed. I really tried to do my UK voice off of, in America they had this cartoon on Nickelodeon called The Wild Thornberries, and the father, the patriarch of the family, his name was Nigel Thornberry, and he talked like this, and I was always like, why does he sound funny, mama? And she was like, that's because he's from a different country. And I was like, what? But anyway, big up again, Futility, for the super sticker.
The world's America, Mar. Are you un-American?
There's someone not in America?
What?
It blew my mind as a kid. They only teach you about America when you're young. But big up again, Futility, for the super sticker. Tottenham also says 1-1, Tottenham defending with 9 men for 30 minutes and us getting a point with no losses all season shows me more courage, in my opinion. Paul, I'll let you take this one.
Well, and then so what do we learn out of that? What can we take away? What extra experience have the players had of working a system under extreme pressure? I just don't. Game time is game time. It's like gold dust. Some of them are our, squad players. So you've got to put them in the fire. And yeah, okay, it's not going to work out when you do it, but next time they're called upon to do it, which next week at Wolves, 11 men off we go. They're going to have in their head that feeling of that game. I hope they realise that they came that close to something absolutely extraordinary, much more extraordinary than back. And
I would say this shows exactly what you're saying. This frustration, this lash out, shows exactly what you're saying, Paul.
It's and like people are talking about as if it's a foregone conclusion. If we were part of the bus, it would have been 1-1. Why?
That's what I'm saying. This fucking crystal ball that everybody sends to get off of Amazon, where they say, if you did this, this would have happened. You don't know. Just like we say, if the Luis Diaz goal versus Liverpool was correct ruling and they gave him the goal, you don't know that Liverpool win. You don't know that we win. You don't know that we draw. At that point, it's all fucking, it's just particles in the space, man.
It's a different path into the future.
Yeah, a different timeline.
Timeline, yeah. You can't say, if this would have happened and this would have happened, and you're picking and choosing from stuff that did happen. None of it would have happened. Like if Chelsea,
if my aunt had a dick, she'd be my uncle.
That's right. If Chelsea had that goal not disallowed and Romero had stayed on the pitch, it's something else. No one knows. I've seen enough games of teams parking the bus with 9 players and losing to know that it's not a foregone conclusion that you walk away with a draw. You might have, you might not have. I don't know. But the way it went down, I'm much happier with either way anyway.
Yeah, I agree with you, Paul. Ren says the Futility sent about $20 US. So big fucking up right now. Big up Futility for that generous donation to the channel. Thank you, sir. And big up, y'all. A taco putting on the Ritz. Look, I got another piece of information I want to talk about before we do get to 2 hours. We are in an hour 40, but we're still going. We're still rocking. Keep hitting them likes. 2 likes away from 100. So big up. And keep getting your voice heard in that poll. I see 129 votes. That's more than 30 people who did not like the video but did partake in the poll. But hey, that's okay. You live the life you so choose. A lot of people make a lot of dumb choices in their life. And when the repercussions of such are on full display, look, you made those choices. So I say that to Romero. I say that to Udoki. You've made those choices. You ended up there. Now you're going to have to watch us from home. And I know for a fact it's going to be eating up Christian Romero inside. I know for a fact he's the kind of guy who's going to be fucking on his couch, pissed, fuming, that he's not there clattering into some other victim.
Yeah. I mean, people are talking about Romero again as if he's like, he's disciplinary. Like this year, 2 yellow cards, 1 red card. It's not like horrendous. He's not got 4 red cards this year or something like that. I don't know, man. They both know they screwed up. They'll feel bad and they'll come back. And then we'll have a good few games with them before they do something else. I'm happy to wear it because that's the players they are. I'd rather have Doggy and the Romero in the game any day, rather than some other safety players. I want them every time.
I agree with you. Big up, Rich. Always here. Again, my credible source that can back up, not just Paul saying it about Mickey Van de Veen. Rich, hope you're okay. Just wanted you to know personally, Rich, my heart is broken for my son, Mickey Van de Veen. But hey, it's okay. He'll be back. At some point, we'll find out. They're waiting for the swelling to go down, apparently, before they can scan him. Shout out Bobby K and everyone who did let me in on that factoid. That is why the scan is waiting until Friday. But 4 days, 5 days of swelling, that must be a fucking serious injury, right?
Maybe it's just healing mucus.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the membranes in there healing all them cells.
The
prayers of Tottenham fans in his legs healing it. Maybe that's what it is.
Crystal power. The way I can sum up the way I feel about the weekend from the old Bill Nicholson quote: "It's better to fail aiming high than succeed aiming low." We aimed high. We aimed high, man.
And we saw something that no one else fucking does. If Pep, I heard an argument, I don't remember where it was said, but if Pep had done it and lost, they would have said, even if they lost, they would have said, but think about the experimental genius that he is, willing to try something so out of the box. If Arteta had done that, they would say he's trying something new. To me, if Ainge had pulled that off, if we had done it and gotten the draw or the win and pulled it off, they would have the world would have exploded. Every rival fan's head would have fucking lost it because they're already so upset with how much everyone loves Ainge Postecoglou. So if that would have happened, they would have loved him even more and said he's a fucking genius. But look, it is what it is. Pep Guardiola obviously has a lot of laurels to fall back on, but so does Ainge Postecoglou.
You know, I heard someone say, you know, if Ainge had done, if Pep had done that, or Klopp would have done that, or who else would have, if they'd have done that, and I'm saying, well, they're not Ainge Postecoglou. They haven't got his balls, have they? They haven't done it. They've had plenty of games to do it. I'm sure Liverpool went down to 9 men. Klopp didn't, did he? Because he's a pussy.
Ren brings up a good point as well. How can we learn to play in this system if we just abandon it because circumstances dictate that?
That's it.
And it's the same thing about the Fulham game. Why everyone's bringing this is 2 times now that Ainge Postecoglou has done something wrong because think about the Fulham game and now you think about the high line with 9 men. Look, I think it's fucking bullshit and it's annoying and it's cheap and it's easy and lazy.
Look, it really does annoy me, and I don't want to be insulting to people, but I'm thinking some of these pricks never wanted Ainge in the job or don't like, you know, they think that Tottenham's above him or something. And, you know, they're going to realise the hard way that Ainge is one of the best managers in the world. He really is. But I hear a lot of this. Oh, well, I'm backing Ainge, but that doesn't mean I can't criticise him for some fucking Mickey Mouse game that happened months ago that no one gives a shit about. Fucking hell,
Why would he abandon what has gotten him to the Tottenham Hotspur job in the first place, which is playing his style, living up to his philosophy, and doing what the fuck Ainge wants to do? And I have a legitimate issue. We're talking about things that piss people off. I get very pissed off when I hear Spurs fans, rival fans, anybody who's not in the game calling our players an idiot, saying Ainge is an idiot. Using that word, to me, his money would laugh at you. His money would say you're the idiot. His accountant, if you have one, would probably laugh at your account because your account has a lot more time on his hands. My point in saying that is calling someone an idiot who has made life choices that have led them to being a professional baller of any kind, a professional of the high that me, you, and everyone around the world watches. That guy's not an idiot regardless what they do. Now, they can make dumb choices, but that doesn't make them an idiot. And I think it's very harsh and very stupid and distasteful when our fans, after what Romero did and Udogie did and what Ainge did, they sit there and say, they're an idiot and they did this as an idiot and they're so idiotic for this. And I think that's very distasteful. And I think it's disgusting, personally.
It's lazy. It's lazy, man. I mean, and it, you know, the way Ainge has done it, this is his first opportunity in the Premier League. 2 Premier League managers of the month, second in the league. You know, this is a guy, he won in Australia. He won an Asian Cup with Australian national team. He's already managed at a World Cup. You know, winning Japan, winning Scotland. But there's still this thing, but England's something special, isn't it? The Premier League's something special. No, it isn't. Andrew's showing that. He's showing it. We're going to win it with him, you know. If he gets the players he wants, we're winning it. How many times does he have to do it in a row at different countries in different scenarios when he couldn't even bloody speak the language in Japan? He couldn't rely on. He's talking about this.
I never thought about that. Paul.
He said. So you know, one of my tools used to be like motivational talks and that. In Japan, that's taken away from me. I had interpreters and things like that, but
how are they gonna?
I had to rely on other techniques to get us to the top.
Yeah.
So he can't adapt when he's managed in a country he can't speak the fucking language. I mean, come on, people.
Big up Intaj.
It's all snidey. People are just waiting for any bloody reason to have a pop. Any reason.
Well, I think go ahead.
We drew the game against Fulham. We lost one against Chelsea. We're second in the league. Are people not seeing the same table as I'm seeing? We're 2 points ahead of Arsenal and Liverpool. What more? Oh, I'm getting hot under the collar. What more do you want? Don't you remember how shit we were last year? Oh, Andrew's an idiot. Who the fuck are you sitting there? An idiot. Oh my God! Oh well, you must know how to manage a football team. Oh yeah, we should have.
How many years have you been a manager in a professional league? Was my first question, and then if the answer is none, then I would say he might not be an idiot. He might just be doing things that you don't think is the correct way of doing it. And it's okay to differ and to question and to critique and to say, why did he do this? But to sit there and put your own face, your words, type it into a chat, say, so-and-so's an idiot, to me, that just makes you the idiot.
You know what? Andrew's so good. I reckon he probably has made some mistakes.
He will.
Oh, hang on. What's this?
Oh, I know that noise. That's the Uber. Sounds like someone want to get a ride.
You know, the low rating. I'm not taking that scum back.
I hate that shit. When they're like, here's $5.84 for a 20-minute trip, you're like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. What was I saying?
Big up Luca.
Yeah, like what I mean is, Ange will have made mistakes, but because he's so good at what he does, we don't notice his mistakes. Because you know what I mean? For him, a mistake is something, you know, that's stopping him from improving or something like that. They're things we wouldn't even spot. We don't notice. You know, I don't know, man. It makes my blood boil. People going on about the Carabao Cup still. I've enjoyed every minute of watching us play this year. What do you want? What do people want? Really? What do they want? Oh, we want a trophy because I'm an entitled sport brat. No one deserves a fucking trophy, you know. You don't just get a trophy by going out and winning a trophy. You've got to have something behind you, you know. Sometimes you can fluke one. Man United won the Carabao Cup last year. What a springboard that's turned out to be. Out of bollocks. So I don't want to just win a fucking trophy at the expense of everything else, at the expense of improving and living a fucking dream I am at the moment. And to say, oh, what a reckless idiot. Fucking hell, man. Have you not ever played a football game?
I know. There's one time I got sent off in a match, Paul. This guy, so I played in a rec league with my brothers, my two older brothers, and there was a guy that he had slid on both of my brothers, and I was like, just wait till this motherfucker enters my box. Just wait. And he came around the corner, here he comes, I'm watching, I'm like, I'm meeting this fucker right at the near post. And I didn't even go for the ball. I just did my best. If you know who Ray Lewis is, he's a linebacker in the NFL, Hall of Fame linebacker. He was also a criminal of sorts, but that's neither here nor there. But anyway, I did my best impersonation of a middle linebacker, and I just took his ass out, upended him. He wanted to fight me. I'm up in his face. We're wanting to fight. You know what we did? I did get kicked off the match. Yes, I did have to sit there and watch the rest of the match, but We ended up fucking winning. And you know what that dude did the rest of the match? Nothing. He was timid. He was afraid because I went in there and I clattered his ass. That's why I love it when Romero last year did it to Erling Haaland 17 minutes in, because the eventual Golden Boot winner went on to do nothing versus us at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium because of Christian Romero getting in his fucking head. And I love that personally.
Haaland dropped back into midfield.
Fuck that. I ain't drifting up there. There's a madman over there. You know, Johnny Lewis on the corner, he'll fuck you up. Don't walk past him. That's what I want.
Oh, you know, they lost us the game. It's like, you know, we're a team. We're a team. We're human beings, robots. Sometimes things aren't going to go right. Sometimes, you know, you don't even know the intent of what Romero and Udogie. It looked to me like Udogie just cocked it up, and Romero was trying to leave a little bit of a taster in there. But I don't know.
He was trying to clear the ball ferociously. He was clearing the ball ferociously, and he happened to, you know, just like me. I was in a hurry because I needed to use the restroom, and I happened to hit a couple mailboxes. You know, just sometimes when you're in a hurry and you're trying to do something expeditiously, things can get a little out of hand. Look, and one thing I also want to add, Paul, real quick. I don't want to ever fucking hear from another Spurs fan that Christian Romero cares more about Argentina than Tottenham. That was his World Cup winning compadre, and he didn't give a shit. He'll take his ankles with him. So I don't ever want to. If you think Romero went in aggressively and ferociously to that tackle, you can't tell me he cares more about Argentina. Because if he went into that with the intent of hurting that man, then he knew that that was Enzo Fernandez, his compadre. And he wouldn't have done that if he cared more about. But he's in the moment wearing the Tottenham Hotspur badge, bleeding for our badge, doing whatever it takes. Yes, maybe a little out of bounds, a little reckless, hot-headed. But I've been hot-headed sometimes, said some things, done some things maybe I regretted when I was a little bit cooler-headed. But in the heat of the battle, give a fuck about Argentina. I'm Tottenham Hotspur today, and I'm taking that ankle with me, son. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Ange's reaction was very simple. He said, look, physicality is part of Hero's game, and on this occasion he was deemed to be over the line.
I love that response. My fucking manager. Now, it's unfortunate because I can't whip out the victory kangaroo today, but I just wanted to. He's still here. Just know he's right there waiting for that next dub. Big Up Ren says, people went on about how we should have smashed a 9-man Liverpool when they parked the bus, and now they whinge because we should have parked the bus because we could have drawn. That's what I'm saying. When you put the mirror up to people's faces, Ren, a lot of times they don't like what's looking back at them.
Absolutely.
So I'll just leave that there.
Oh, we couldn't break down Liverpool. But we won. What are you on about? We won. I mean, what?
Couldn't break down Liverpool, but we ended up doing just that and winning. And they'll say, oh, it's a Joel Matip own goal. We applied pressure. I've said this fucking every week. We applied pressure, and we found the leak. We found where the water can find the weakness in the infrastructure, and we found it. Oliver Skipp rode his back all the way to the own goal. Oliver Skipp on his back, Pedro Porro, low-driven pass across the box, Sizzler, which, by the way, has led to quite a few own goals this season, that tactic. But it's luck, Paul.
But on the other side, I'd say, you know, the own goal that Romero scored against Arsenal for Arsenal, it was kind of a similar thing. If Romero did nothing, there was a couple of Arsenal players ready there to pounce and maybe score. So, you know, Romero was under pressure to do something, and he scored an own goal. And I think that's, you know, I'm not going to say that's not a valid goal, a lucky goal for Arsenal or something like that. Own goals come that way because the defender has to do something, otherwise it's a goal. And, you know,
great response here from Glenn Maylard. Says, if Spurs had conceded when we were trying to park the bus, how many fans would have responded? I'm pretty sure I know how would have Spurs fans responded? I'm pretty sure I know exactly how, and I'm new here at Spurs.
I know exactly what they would have said, man. They would have said, oh, Ange said we were going to play attacking football, and at the first excuse we go and park the bus. Ange is a fraud. Ange is a fraud. You know it.
Damned if you don't. Paul.
These idiots. They're the idiots. Like you say, look in the mirror. Yeah, attacking football, we went defensive. Where's the blah, 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 blah. Yeah, there's no rights with these people.
Big up. You changed your name. You shortened it. Makes it easier. But big up, Big Steve. Sub to Typical City and Big Steve. Got a super chat here from Kate with Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs. Says, people wanted Ainge, now moaning when he plays his way. Suck it up, Buttercup. He ain't changing for no one. Come on, you Spurs and Ainge we trust. This is a message I can get behind. And thank you, Kate, so much for the donation for the channel. Big up. Says, look, whether they wanted Ainge or they didn't want Ainge, I think every Spurs fan, 10 matches in, 11 matches in, was like, you know what? I like what this guy's doing. I kind of like this fun rock and roll style of football. I kind of like that. Yeah, easy on the eye, getting results, top of the league. Now we're second. But, I mean, the journey there, whether you started at, I don't want Ainge, who is he, to where we were before this Chelsea loss, for me it doesn't change. But with this Chelsea loss and before it, a lot of fans were still like, hey, I like what we're doing. But now that it looked a little different to what they're used to, and this is where what they said on every channel I went on, Paul, which was, why did he do that? The clear and obvious thing was to do this. He should have done that. History dictates this is the way to be successful when you go down 2 men. This is how you're supposed to do it. And then they referenced Liverpool, which I said, Liverpool lost that fucking game, if you forgot. And then they say, oh, that was VAR. Oh, that was VAR screwing us. That was a robbery, this, that, and the other.
But there's still 9 men.
Make it make sense, Paul. Make it make sense.
You don't get 9.5 men just because you think it was VAR at fault. They had 9 men. I don't know. Yeah, suck it up, Buttercup. That's what I reckon as well, Kate. You know?
Yeah, suck it up, Buttercup, indeed.
This is the way it's going to be.
Playing Ainge ball, we lose 4-1. Parking the bus, we lose 3-1.
Yeah.
Or 6-1. At home. But that never happened. Let's just forget about that, right? Steady as Shark says, we didn't even lose because we were outplayed or the strategy failed because Romero and Udogie simply lost their heads and knocked us down to 9 men. Which, again, this is something I do want to caveat. This shouldn't happen a lot where we lose 2 men. Now, I know people will say, like, Romero's history would lead you to believe that this would be a frequencing event, but we're a third of the season through and it's happened once. So I don't understand. Big up Letty. Says, hi, Jacob and Jay. We'll take that as hi, Jacob and Paul. Big up. How you doing? Tony D says, Ainge. And that's something I can get behind as well. We conceded 5 goals in 20 minutes against Newcastle playing a low block. Is what Rich says. Yep, that is very true. Factual information. Big up Caption Grandma says, g'day, me old Chinas. Playing with 9 ain't gonna happen too often, so Ainge's disparagers need to just get over it. I was more concerned over how Ainge ignored Udogie when he walked off. I did see that when he got that second yellow. He gave him the I'm not mad at you, I'm just disappointed shoulder, which fucking hurts. Worse, I'd rather him be pissed and like, you stupid ass, you should have done this or that. Whereas instead, he's just like, Papa, have I upset you, Papa? Daddy, I didn't mean to make you mad.
I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed, son.
This was not even that. He didn't even say that to him. He just said, go to your fucking room. I'll talk to you in a minute. That was kind of, yeah. But big up Capture Grandma every single time. I got some more information I do want to get through. We are sitting here on 2 hours. Paul, if you do got to go at any point, feel free. Don't worry about it. But I got a couple of things I do want to get your opinions on before you do dip off. Look, James Madison has been killing it in social media. So this guy, John Terry, you may know him. He said on Instagram, when Chelsea beat Spurs 4-1 on a school night and the tequila comes out and you end up dancing and singing on the bar. And I guess him and his family are having a good time because Chelsea got the win. And James Madison replied, Jesus, you have your eyes closed when it was 11v11 in the first 15, John Terry? Interesting. James Madison's a dog. But not only that, in this post, this happened then. Someone replied to him saying, they still lost, so what's the point in the reply? Oh, we were good for 15 minutes, trophy. Bro, you got bashed 4-1. Pipe down. And then he just responded, pipe down, Jim King. Because I guess this guy's profile, he's like a fitness coach or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is funny. He's probably the same guy who go on the internet and be like, he's a fucking idiot for doing that. When it's like, all right, Jim King, keep posting your selfie videos of you hitting some curls, my guy. I thought that was funny. James Madison's fully Tottenham, if you didn't know.
I love all the shit talking that Madison's doing. It's brilliant. Love it.
I love James Madison so much. Let me see what else I got started up here for y'all so we can run through it before we keep on going. Look, I did start this because this is someone I spoke about last season, Nico Williams, who now is becoming, quote, undeniable. The level is starting to show at just 21. He is one of the best wingers in the world at this moment. This is a big claim, but says his composure in the final third has been improved dramatically, and his performance versus Villarreal last weekend demonstrated that. Look, when I've watched this guy, Nico Williams, he's got fantastic genetics. His older brother, Inaki Williams, set the record, I believe, for most consecutive matches played in a career. He's never been injured. And so that's the bloodline that this man comes from. So I like the cloth already. Now, this man is a winger. When I don't watch a whole lot of La Liga, but last year I watched Athletic Club Bilbao, however you fucking say it, where this kid plays. I've been watching him since last year. Y'all know I like to watch. And now he's becoming a name in which everyone knows. Nico Williams. He plays for Spain. What a great guy. I think we need a fucking winger like this. Brennan Johnson, Nico Williams, deadly threat, versatility, can play with the ball, stretch the pitch. Look, I know we ain't in January, but Christmas time is coming up and Daddy's making a wish list, so that's what that is. But big up Nico Williams. I just want to cover that. And then obviously this is the question, the photo in question, I should say. Big up Letty. Some people are haters. This is the photo in question. Some people are saying it's old, it's new, it's from today. And then some people said, no, it's old. So like I didn't know what to believe. All right. So someone goes to the original thing and they're asking the photographer, did you take this today? Well, where is it? Here's your video proof. This is from the camera roll today of the photos taken from today, November 8th, 2023. What the heck? I think you can see it better here. All right, just let that play. November 8th, 2023, stretching, and then at the bottom is Van de Veen and Sonny touching. Now, it doesn't mean that Van de Veen was in the training room warming up, lifting, doing the exercising with it. It means geographically you have to literally walk through this area to get to the physio training area, because on the other side of this is where like the bikes are and a lot of that other stuff that we've seen in some of the training videos. So this is just him simply passing by, and I believe Sonny touched him with a moment of greatness. So it was taken today, Paul. It has been proven. There was a few hours there where people were going back and forth like, I don't know what's going on. Is this factual? What can we believe from this? But Paul, to see the guy walking through in any fashion, unassisted, no wraps, no braces, no crutches, no assistance, just raw dogging it to the physio room. What do you think that this means for Mickey Van de Veen going forward?
Well, it's better than him in a wheelchair, isn't it? So, I take it. I mean, who knows? It didn't look good, did it?
No.
But I would have thought if it was something serious, I would have like strapped him up or something like that. But I mean, what the fuck do I know? Time will tell. Time will tell. It's a challenge. It's a challenge for us, which is good. Don't want it all easy.
No, hell no. We don't want it all easy. And this is what we said, Paul. We want these challenges. We want to face these tests, because how else can we see? How else will Ainge know who he can fucking count on? This is what I said about the Fulham game, the one that we drew and ended up losing on penalties. I know I'm bringing it back up, Paul, but this is what I said was Ainge Postecoglou had to dunk these apples in the barrel of water to figure out which ones float and which ones sink.
Talking about learning something, right? You know, box office Alex.
Yeah, shout out Alex Box Office, TH.
Yeah, like he's been. I think some people said he's negative. I don't buy it at all. But like I hope I've got his approach right here. I don't mean to put words in his mouth, but from when Ainge came, he's kind of saying, look, I'm not going to look at any of the hype. I'm not going to look at any of his history or anything like that. I'm just going to base on what happens while he's here and see how it goes. And he said for a while, look, it's all right at the moment. Let's just see what happens when we lose. And after the Chelsea game, it looked like Alex learned something about Ange Postecoglou, and Alex seemed pretty positive and happy.
He was on this show and said that very much. If you missed
There you go.
it is the one that I think I did put it at the top, so you should be able to find it very, very easily. King Dom here says Ange's interpreter in Japan was red carded during a game. I guess that means the man was doing his job, interpreting what Ange wanted to say. They didn't like it. That's quite funny. And then Warren says, Warren here from Williamsburg, big up Warren from Williamsburg, says, think back to the Milan in Champions League, 10 men. We gave up. We didn't give it a go. We still fucking lost. At least we went for it. Ainge forever. I love the last two words there. Maybe that's what I need to get tattooed on my body. Ainge forever. Paul, they want to be right. It's legit an ego thing. That's why people are, it's always, look at this video and listen to me on why I'm correct. And anytime you've ever heard me make a claim or state something, I never say I'm correct. I say, hey, I'll probably be wrong half the time. But you never know. I may get it right.
I say all sorts of dumb shit. Don't take my word for anything. Who gives a fuck? You know, we're just having a laugh.
We're here talking ball, man. This is what it's about.
That's what we do.
Rich says maybe we don't concede 4, but we're still going to lose that game. With Ange's system actually almost got something from the game. Which, think about it. No one thinks we kept Chelsea on their toes because they were thinking, how the fuck are these guys still coming at me?
I know, they were rattled, 9 men, and they didn't know what the fuck to do. Like, we were running in between them and finning about, and they didn't know what to do. It was great.
Big up, Rich. Yeah, I loved it. Honestly, at the end of the match, I felt not as upset as I think I would have felt if you told me we were going to lose 4-1 and play with 9 men. I didn't feel that bad. Glenn here says, I'm already a bit of a Paul fan. Now there's 2 of them. 2 Pauls. Where's the other one? Because I could use with a Paul. It says, when you follow Ainge, you're either both balls in or not. Look, they're both attached to the same sack. They're going to the same place. So you got to double dip, my friend. You got to double dip.
In a one battle out, can you?
This, Ren says, fragile fans worried about what other fans will say.
Oh.
And Paul, you had a great spiel on this. You're like, why would I predict a loss even if, like, it's like we should lose to City, right? But why would I predict a loss? Like, people just want to do that so they can say, well, I was right. I did say we'd lose versus City, and look, we did.
Yeah, okay, because some people think that there's some sort of great law in the sky of rights and you know, it's some mysterious date in the future. All of the times you are right will be counted up for some, I don't know, maybe you get a trophy or something, I don't know. But it's not something that interests me. And, you know, Tottenham fans, look, I'll talk to other fans, of course, but, like, I'm not going to kiss their ass and say Tottenham are shit. If I'm talking to other fans, I'm a representative of the greatest football team the world has ever seen, and you lot are all shit.
And it's funny, Paul. I heard that some fans are embarrassing the fan base. I heard some fans are embarrassing the entirety of the fan base with their claims and what they're saying and by speaking with their emotions. And I thought that was funny because, like, if I went into a show...
I thought you were going to bring up the time I walked down the street with my cock out. I mean, that was... Okay. It wasn't that... That's good. That's good.
It wasn't that embarrassing. Like, I legitimately would never go, like, even whenever I did my whole cooking tour after we lost to Chelsea, I went on various channels, the ones I'd gone on and banged my chest about Tottenham Hotspur. I went up there, I sat there, and I still talked my shit. They weren't going to make me feel bad about my club. They could try. They could say whatever they want, but that doesn't rattle me. And I think that's why I got invited on certain shows, and that's why other people don't, because I don't get rattled like that. I don't get, like, a rival's going to say something to me. I got something to say to you, too. At the end of the day, we could do this all day. I'm a tennis ball, baby. You throw me, I'm going to bounce right back at you. And it's funny because I hear that fans are embarrassment to the fan base by going out in public eye and saying this, that, and the other about Tottenham when we're not a good team or whatever. And for me, I think it's more embarrassing when someone is like, yeah, I'm a fan of that, but fuck them. fuck them, they're a bunch of losers. But I'm a fan of it, yes, but fuck them. And I just think that that's a weird stance to have.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Like football, it's many things. It's also a tribal thing. It's like a harmless tribal thing. We've all got stupid reptile bits in our brains still. We like to think we're clever, but we're dumb as fuck. And we're still tribal. And if you're going to be tribal, you might as well be tribal about something as meaningless as football instead of going and punching each other in the street. So you know, if you're of another club, you might say things. Tottenham are rubbish. You never win anything. I don't give a shit because you don't support my club. When I hear Tottenham fans say things like that, it irks me because I think you just don't understand this whole football thing, do you? If you think that it's some sort of polling competition, you want to have this valid opinion not only amongst Spurs fans but amongst the wider football community. Fuck them. Who gives a fuck about them, man? So, you know, if you're,
I'll put it this way. I care more about my club and how I feel about my club, and I care more about that than I care about someone clipping me up and being like, "Look at this guy supporting his club."
Yeah, look at
oh no! Oh no! You clip me for fucking defending my team. Oh no! Look, I've been called everything under the sun when I go on some of these rival channels, but I don't let it bother me. No, I like what you said there. Fuck them. You're gonna go? I mean, I'm mute. Oh, there he goes. I think he's gonna go. He said he's gonna go. I'll go ahead and do that. Yep, there he goes. Big up Paul with the Hotspur Hippie. I believe he got a nice little fare there at the end. So big up to Paul Beatty with the Hotspur Hippie. The title of that channel is in the description, or not in the description. It's in the fucking title of this video. It's there. You click it, it'll take you there. So please do that. Go subscribe to the Hotspur Hippie every single time. Big up, Big Steve says we got the stopped Holland Cup. The one team he did not score against. Yes, I will take some little bit of pride in that. I think I'm responding to the comment about parking buses being brave, though. I guess on reflection, I might have not really been responding to you. I'm all in at the moment. It's a red mist. Hey, big up Glenn. I'm all in too. You're not alone, my friend. Simon Brown, the knob jockey's calling Ainge an idiot, must shit lavender leaves and piss champagne. Big up Simon Brown. Love that. That's a great one there. Still got over 80 of y'all rocking with me on this Wednesday night. Not going to be going too much longer, but I do want to catch up in the chat. Make sure I say hello to every single body in here. Look, tomorrow and Friday, I will be doing a preview of Wolves. We obviously play on Saturday. Kick off at 5:30 a.m. for me. Should I do a fucking half awake watch along? I thought about it, but I'll probably just be laying in bed, so I probably won't do it. I thought about it though. But if you're watching this back on playback, let me know in the comments if you think I should do a watch along this weekend. It'll be 5:30 a.m. for me, so I'll be fucking not great. But big up Simon Brown. Janice Rubelis, how are you doing? Big up. Nate says, is Jacob TV streaming later this evening? Let me text my pro club's partner, because if he is, we shall. And hopefully I can get you an answer before the end of this stream. Are we playing clubs tonight? Got a viewer asking. There you go. Actually, Nate, you're not a viewer. You're on the team, Nate. I'm telling him Nate's asking. Big up Nate. Nate. Ed says Romero lost his head. Don't ignore him kicking out at Colwell. If we want a challenge, we have to learn. You can't lose your head. Ed, that's a very good point. That's absolutely a good point. I just think, look, I said this on the post-match thing. We went up a goal. We were playing some really good ball. And then it was like we turned it into a barroom fight. Udogie flying in, Romero kicking out, then he's kicking again. And look, it was absolutely what you want as far as the passion goes from a derby, especially one versus Chelsea. Like, you want the players fired up. But there is I said you like the fire because fire is good, but you want a controlled fire. You want to control the burn. That's how I see it. Big up Bottom Fragger. That's a new name in the chat. Says Wolves game will be interesting. Hope U21 get a chance rather than our Deadwood like Davies and Dyer. That is my hope. We will be talking more about the predictions later on this week. But big up. Daniel says, Jacob, I hear that, mate. Remember, I told you recently, Romero made me change my mind, but he did not lead by example the good way Monday. I thought he would have learned. Look, Daniel, you were one of his critics, and it might be coming back to you like I should continue to be his critic. And fair enough, fair play. Be critical of Romero. He has to be smarter. Don't use this as a chance either. I'm not saying you specifically, but I have seen some people on Twitter, only on Twitter. I haven't seen anyone YouTube-wise saying that Son should have been the one to corral him and get him to calm down after that kick out. When I would say Son's not responsible for the actions of another grown man, nor should he be responsible for the actions of a fucking vice captain. You're the vice captain, Christian Romero. That is inexcusable. You are supposed to lead by example. And unfortunately, you did not in the best of ways. Totspurs here's his question. Liverpool had 4 top defenders, 3 top DMs, win down to 9 men. We didn't have that, did we? So why defend when it was a weakness, not a strength? Not even that, Totspurs. That's a great point. That's more of a caveat now. But I'm saying, like, you always have to play your way, in my opinion. And that's why I love what Ainge said in the post-match. We had Royale playing center back alongside Eric Dyer, and you want us to sit them next to each other. How many fucking times do you think that we've actually practiced Dyer next to Royale with 9 men? I would go on the, I would say 0%, maybe 0.1% of a chance that we actually worked that exact scenario. 9 men versus 11, Eric Dyer and Emerson Royale as our center backs. I don't think we ever, I don't think that. So why would we do something that's foreign? At least do what we've been training to do, which is exactly what we did. David O'Loughlin, I was there, and all of us stood up and applauded the boys. The fans love Ainge. David O'Loughlin talking to me nicely. David, I love that. I love the fucking fans' response from at full time. I cannot lie. It made me very stiff. Herbal Attraction 3000 says, looking from an outside perspective, this whole Highline controversy is all subjective. It's just his style, and he won't change it much. I hope he does the same against us, though. Would be fun. It would not be fun, not for me anyway, because you give City the chances we gave Chelsea in that match. Oh, my goodness. You give anybody those chances. Oh, my goodness. But what I would say, Herbal Attraction, first off and foremost, big up. Thanks for being here. Secondly, would be, I agree. It is absolutely all subjective. People say they want this, that, and the other. Then you get a serving of this, that, and the other. And they're like, I kind of wanted the burrito. Sorry, sir. You ordered this, that, and the other. Ed says, I was delighted with Ainge. Gallardo was my first choice. Ainge was on my list of 3 that I wanted. But I will say when I'm not happy, no manager is void of criticism. No manager is void of criticism. I would agree with that. Absolutely. David O'Loughlin, we would have won with 11 on the pitch. Again, I'm going to keep my same energy. That's the crystal ball argument, which is the same thing I use to defend a lot of things that Spurs fans come at our club about. The crystal ball. Again, anyone out there who's said, when this happens, that will happen. When this happens, that will happen. And they know the future. Please send me the link. Comment it down below. The link, wherever you bought the fucking crystal ball, because I need that in my life. Udogi was young and will learn to kick players without getting a foul. He's just inexperienced in the dark arts. I love that. I love the dark arts personally. Steve D, big up. Steve D says, completely free game. Never gonna see 4 of your best players going off due to injuries and bookings. That's absolutely true. Beer Talk, big up, sir, says, Udogi knew he messed it up. Conte would have berated him for 2 hours in front of the team. Is that true or is that no? That Richarlison did say that happened. Yeah, that is. Athletic Bilbao, do not get rid of players easy, says Daniel E. Oh, I didn't know that. That's a very interesting tip. I bet it would be expensive because apparently now the whole world is privy to his skills. Waiting for the swelling to go down, scan tomorrow on Friday. I believe they said Friday, Steve D. They're going to wait for Friday. Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. Big up, Steve D. Cursor, what's your take on Basuma throwing his toys out the buggy when Gallagher tries to give him a handshake? Remind me of Conte and Tuchel all over again. Cursor, Paul and I went over this in great depth earlier in the show. And what I need to start doing, and I'll try to be better at this, I will start trying to time code. But the thing is, like, my mind is like, I'm so ADHD that I'll be talking about this and talking about that, and you never know where it may end up. But we did talk about this, and at the end, like, my brief synopsis cursor is I like the attitude. I like the guy not being okay with what he fucking went through. Because you shouldn't. You should be pissed. As a player, after that, you should be pissed. You should want more. You should not be okay with that. And I like it. I like Basuma kicking the ball, pushing Gallagher, trying to fight. I like that more than if you'd went and fucking hugged Gallagher. Because to me, I don't like all this lovey-dovey, hug me, hold my hand, let's have dinner tonight type shit after a match. No, you just whooped our ass. I'm going to fuck you up. That's the energy I want. If it's professional, I don't know. If it's the right thing, I don't know. But what I do know is I absolutely loved it, Cursor. I loved the fucking being pissed, being angry, because he should be. Everyone in that locker room should be. Shout out to the 2 people who subscribed during the show. Big up yourself right now. And look at that. Limited on ad monetization has gone away. They decided, you know what, Jacob, we love you. Glenn says, could Basuma play center back? I'm sure he could. Physically, he could. I wouldn't sacrifice him, though. There's others I would put in there first. Because I would love him to still continue to be the boss that he is at this current juncture. Sar at center mid. I'm thinking Højbjerg. I think we keep our midfield the same. Going with our strongest midfield that we have, Sar, Basuma, and Madison. And then at the center back, let's do Ashley Phillips and Emerson Royale. Or Emerson Royale left back, Ashley Phillips and Højbjerg or something. I don't know. We can have fun with it. I don't know. That's tomorrow's problem. We'll have to sort through that on tomorrow's show. So we'll figure that out. The only times I've really learned anything meaningful was when I was wrong or when I failed. Ren, same. Girl, same. Like, you don't grow without some shit. Shout out to flowers and fertilizer and all that good stuff. I don't go to my arch nemesis and ask for life advice. Why would I care what someone says if we hate each other? Absolutely. Look, your enemies ain't going to say something nice to you. Your enemies ain't going to be kind to you. Unless they're This Is Football, who's in the chat right now. Says everyone like and subscribe. Big up Sam, my buddy, my brother from another mother out there in Jordan, across the world. But love can be felt no matter how far you are. But big up, Ren. Appreciate you joining us again today, and always with some great comments as well. Luca 14 says at 2-1 down, we missed chances to equalize. Chelsea scored their 3rd and 4th in the 94th and 97th minutes. Game ended on 98. It's all we need to know. Big up, Luca, providing some perspective here. Big up yourself right now. An Arsenal fan is really going to have a fair, biased opinion, aren't they? Yeah, when they clip us up, it would absolutely be fair, right? Warren says, I vote to play Brian Hill at left center back versus Wolves. We'll score more than Wolves every day of the week. Brian Hill is a center back. Is that what we're talking about now? Big up Glenn. Basuma has shown composure. I think he's been playing a little bit reserved from that composure, but who knows? Big up Graham says, evening, Jacob. Big up Graham. Good to see you in the chat again, my friend. Says, yes, I can join you half asleep watching at 10:30 p.m. Ren. If I do it, I hope to see you here. Big up Thaddeus. Thaddeus, how are you doing? What a great name. Says, hi, Jacob and Paul. This is turning out to be a really enjoyable buddy movie. The metaphorical road trip that the season represents is proving all the more enjoyable with the 2 of you on the ride. Big up Thaddeus. Sorry, but Paul did have to leave. He had to go back to work because it is the daytime there in Australia. But big up Paul every single time. Glenn says, give Dyer a break. He was a soldier for the cause. Stand by your brothers. I was ready to do an I'm sorry Eric Dyer video. I was ready. I was so ready to mud myself because he scored. Holy shit. That's what the game's about. I would have loved if they kept it. First time I clapped my team after a defeat in 57 years, says Graham. Big up Graham. I clapped him as well, my friend. And I'm never clapping after a fucking loss. Big up Graham and everyone at the stadium. Y'all were loud and proud. You did me proud as well. Big up Curse. Jacob, when is the next week that Paul has Steve Perriman on his show? If you didn't know, Hotspur Hippie has a Spurs legend, Steve Perriman, joining the show. I don't know the exact date, Hotspur, but that is just more reason to hit the @Hotspur Hippie in the title of this video. Hit that link. It'll take you on over to his beautiful channel, and you can subscribe, like a few videos over there, and it'll be great for him. And I'm putting the link there in the chat as well. Make it even easier. Click that link if you don't want to click the one in the title. If you're on your phone, it may be easier to just click the link that's in the chat. Darren Wimbledon, newest family member of United Spurs of America, says, a lot of great defenders were hard men. They were feared. Sounds like Cuti Romero to me. Hey, big up H Talks. How you doing? Big up, Jacob. Hope you're well. H Talks. Go subscribe to this young man as well. He was on the channel. We did a Chelsea preview, and I don't think him or me thought that this was ever in the realm of possibilities. But guess what it was? David Foss says, I don't mind it. Big up H Talks Chelsea TV, and big up Cursor. I got some good Chelsea people here, even though they're Chelsea. Yes, now that makes sense why I like this show. Hey, Ren, that's what I'm saying. My brain is like a squirrel at Central Park. You never know what branch is going to be on. You never know which tree that branch is attached to. But what you do know is we're moving. We're moving. That's just how my brain works. I hopefully try to come back to everything that I bring up, but sometimes it just slips my mind and another thing enters. Welcome to the Spurs headache, says Mark Cavo. Big up. H says, it was a mad game, and I think it's going to be a big test now for Tottenham. Let's see how they bounce back. H, at the beginning of this 2.5-hour stream, I said, this is what I'm looking forward to. I think I said it to you as well when we previewed the match, H, that the next test is my favorite thing for Spurs right now, because it's all good and well when we're getting results and we're doing this, that, and the other, but what do we look like after a loss? Well, now we get to find out. We didn't know before, and now we get to find out because we finally lost the game. But big up Hassam with This Is Football every single time. Y'all, I know right now a lot of Spurs fans hate this guy, but I'm here to tell you he's one of my favorite people. He's one of my favorite people on YouTube. So This Is Football. You can find him at the bottom of the homepage of United Spurs of America, our page. You can find his channel at the very bottom under Featured On. I added his channel there just because, you know what, I'm over there a lot. So if you like my content, you can find me over there as well. There is an imposter among us, and we know who that is. No longer demonetized after Paul left. Coincidence, says Nate. That might be the coincidence. Look, y'all, I do appreciate every single one of y'all tapping in. I'm going to go ahead and end it there, even though I don't have to. My butt is just falling asleep. And it's fucking 2.5 hours. We're making a Scorsese out here. All right. We're approaching Lord of the Rings territory. And I don't think, first off, shout out Phil Jackson? Peter Jackson. Phil Jackson's the basketball coach. Anyway, but there's the link again for those of you who don't know for Hotspur Hippie. Go subscribe. Big shout out to Paul Beatty every single time. At this point, he's family. He's family. But big up Phil Coys. Man of the stream tonight, Jacob. Yep, I had a lot to say. Didn't do a stream yesterday, so I wanted to make sure I went in depth with a lot of different things that I had to say. But look, big up to every single one of you. There's 112 likes on the video. Again, every single time that I do a live show, we've been getting over 100 likes. And I honestly, that fucking means so much to me. So I do appreciate every single one of y'all that hit that like. On playback, y'all do a really great job as well, hitting the like, because the playback boys and girls, y'all help get it over to 150 likes. So I really do appreciate that. It's absolutely free, and y'all spoil me in that sense. You spoil me with the free great blessings. So big up. And speaking of blessings, I cannot sign off the show without saying big ups and welcome to the family, Darren Wimbledon, grabbing his membership. And then again, thank you so much to Neil Shafton. Don't know if you're still here or not, but I always shout out the super chatters at the end. I shout you out when you chat it. I shout you out whenever I'm about to end off the show. So again, going above and beyond the call of booty, which is just hitting a like and subscribe and voting in the poll, but they went above and beyond that. They spent their hard-earned fucking money, and they're spending it on this channel. And honestly, that means a lot to me, because I know how tight things are. I know how tight money is. Y'all got families, you got loved ones, friends and shit you want to spoil. Holidays are coming up, and you're actually spoiling me. So it means something to me. And I hope it means something to you too. So thank you so much, Neil Shafton, for the dono to the channel. Thank you so much, Futility, as well, for the $29.99 Australian dollars to the channel. And then big up Kate with Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs as well for the £4.99 dono to the channel. Big up to every single one of you. And thank you so much for spending your time and your hard-earned money with me here on United Spurs of America. But that is going to do it, folks, for a long edition of the 89th episode of the Untitled series here on United Spurs of America. I hope the rest of your day is as blessed and stress-free as I feel and as I try to embody. I hope you feel great. Look, I'm about to send you over to Sarcasm City TV, my favorite late night place. Look, this man's in the UK, but he streams all the fucking time. Flawless. His work ethic is absolutely unmatched. His hustle is unmatched in the YouTube world. So go on over there, like and subscribe, say USA sent you, and he'll thank me for that later. I'm going to go ahead and end the poll. Look, 154 votes in the poll, 115 likes. I'm not going to complain about the ratio, but actually that's like a new record. 40 people voted, but they did not like the video. That's actually a new record. Not one I'm necessarily happy about, but hey, 154 people stopped by, and 115 of those 154 liked the video. So really, I ain't got too much to complain about because y'all blessed me. So thank you very much for showing the love. I only reciprocate the same thing. But look, I've played the clip a few times. I'll keep playing it for all those people who want to hate on Ainge Postecoglou. Look.
Stop playing with my fucking name. All three of y'all. Stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it no more.
That's going to do it, folks. Stay blessed. Stay fresh. Up the lads. And come on, you Spurs. We'll be back tomorrow and Friday. I got a guest already lined up for Friday, so tune on in for Friday. Hopefully, we got some news about the Mickey Van everything. But until next time, double course.
United Spurs of America with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.